a custom just for you, a dowry's charm to rekindle the fire. In a world where romance might expire, he'd gather gold with wit and flair, pledging his heart beyond compare. For in the shimmer of that old dear gold lies a tale of love, both brave and bold. Bring back the dowries, let's make it clear, a token of love that's sincere, building bridges heart to heart, a timeless way to never part. He spoke of tales from times long past, when gestures grand made love last. With every coin and jewel so bright, he'd prove his love in the soft moonlight. His dream. Welcome in, folks. We're just going to wait a little bit of time for some of the people to come in. Hopefully we get some folks. Looks like it's going to be a quiet evening around here. But that's okay. That's okay. Don DeMarco, hope you enjoy your match. Could explain why it's quiet. Hopefully my stream's working. Yo, Klaus, welcome in. Klaus, I think it's just gonna be us tonight, man. It's not looking good. But the hell with it, man. If it's just you, then I'll do the whole show just for you, Klaus. Why the hell not? Good to see you, man. Hope I'm coming in okay. I'll probably play one more song. We'll see if anybody else comes in after this. Hope you're doing well, man. Don DeMarco's a little busy. Who knows, man? Maybe there's just a lot of other great things going on, and you know, people don't want to look away from that. Maybe I can't blame them. What's simple? What's going on? I'm not usually the first. Yeah, I know, dude. I think this is gonna be our first Dead of the Water stream, man. Shout out to you for being here, though. It's probably my fault. I didn't put the stream premiere up early enough. I was working today, so my Saturday wasn't exactly my own Saturday. So got home late. I'll let you call it, man, if it's just you and me. The plan was to watch this video right here. Oh, crap. We'll just let this play. And then to maybe watch some of this. I also got some other funny stuff, so we'll see. Thanks for the like, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know. It's odd, bro. The folks ain't here tonight, man. What can you do? What can you do? We'll let this song go, and then I'll just start reacting. If I gotta dry react, then so be it. So I'll just pretend it's for a standalone video, and we'll do it that way. So we'll be okay. Awesome song. Thank you. I was just thinking about you, Mr. Pitt. You know, I don't know if I should start calling you Avalanche, because I know you did change your name. So if you don't want me calling you Mr. Pitt, I swear to God, I won't do it.
This is a good song. You know what, man? You and Klaus are here, and that's good enough for me. Saturdays are for the boys, absolutely. Yep. So after this, say we just get into it. Shout out to the 5 people watching. If you guys can remember to hit the like button, that might help make it more exciting in here. Whatever is easiest for you, bro. Hell yeah. I'll probably keep calling you Mr. Pitt, man, just because I know you by that so much. It might get confusing for viewers, but they'll figure it out, you know, if they watch enough. Hope the week's been treating everybody well. It was a busy ass stream for me. Not a week. Busy week for me. But we're here. I pulled some of the songs on a USB drive and blast them when driving. Love them. Dude, hell yeah. You know what? Let's play Deadbeat Woman. The original Deadbeat Woman. In Luke's honor. Don DeMarco came in. He said there's a UFC fight tonight, so a lot of folks might be busy watching that. I wonder who's fighting. UFC match. Oh, Justin Gaethje. Okay. I've heard of him. Never heard of the other guy, Paddy Pimblett. Seems like it's interesting. Man, I used to really like watching the UFC. I got to do the same thing, Klaus. I mean, I could probably play it from just this website in my car off my phone, but I got to actually put them in some kind of thing so I can listen to them in my car. I really need to actually post them on the YouTube channel. I just don't want to inundate people with songs. You can listen from any device with the album link. Got it. And that's the SoundCloud. And then this one's audio.com. So we also have a SoundCloud. That's good to know. 9 people in. Shout out to everybody. Thanks for the 3 likes. We'll get this party started real fast. I just had to listen to this one more song. Oh, no, this is the SoundCloud. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think I like the SoundCloud better than audio. Audio.com's good, but SoundCloud seems easier. Another minute on that song. Shout out to Dontavius. I have been staying gaming. I got me a SNES Mini. And this thing keeps me company throughout the week. Man, where is my...
You gotta stay gaming, bruh. Don't focus on no girl. Just stay gaming.
I feel like it's been... You know, it's funny. I streamed twice last week, but I feel like it's been a while. I think I just did so much last week that I forgot how to do YouTube or something like that. Okay. Dang, I had the music kind of low, my bad. Maybe as we start reacting, we might get some more folks in here. Audio.com dealt with some serious outages, so we switched over to SoundCloud. I see. Okay, that makes sense. I'll just constantly use the SoundCloud then. Also, since there's only like 10 people in here, I figure I can say it, but Effective Purpose is going to be posting our discussion soon, so that'll be coming up for you guys. But it's in about like another week or so, but he gave me a date, and it's about a week away, so... Ooh, this is a good song, too. All right, that's enough for the music. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know. So Effective Purpose will be posting our discussion. I think him and I had a really good discussion, so that's some more content for you guys that'll be coming out. And but besides that, I do need to try making some like regular videos, just some regular YouTube style videos for you guys, which I do plan on getting into. So Labor says, I ain't gonna lie, it's crazy how low so much of the red pill has fallen the last 2 years. Yeah, man, I think you're right about that. I know what people are gonna say. It's like, oh, it's a praxeology, this and that, but I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the red pill as far as like people, the content creators, and the sort of culture and atmosphere around that. But man, a red pill goes up and down. I feel like it's kind of like Bitcoin. It's like crypto, crashes really hard one day, and then it comes rising, shooting back up again. So it might have its day again. The most recent funniness was like all that stuff with those folks in Miami. And to me, like I was really like transfixed by that story because it was just hilarious how all these guys got together and like not even 24 hours later, they were all like beefing with each other. It was like sad. So yeah, that kind of got me thinking about all these alpha males and stuff like that. And I had this video in my playlist to react to, so I was like, I thought it would be pretty funny if we reacted to this. And I watched a part of it, and he just goes over some of the alpha males and some of their schemes or whatever. So I thought it could be pretty entertaining. Then I figured if we felt like it, we'd watch some of this, but that's just like 2 hours and 40 minutes long. But I've been seeing clips from it on Twitter. And I don't know, man, like whenever I hear Andrew Tate kind of talk or go at length about something, it just seems kind of more like hot air nowadays. So, John from It's Complicated sent me this. I haven't got a chance to watch it, man, but this might be worth a episode on its own. This one is called White Pill versus Black Pill. And it's about, looks like it's Darkcell, who I think, Raymond has on his show every now and then. I think I actually did a show with them too. I can't remember, maybe not. And he's debating this white pill guy. So this could be something that's interesting, for us down the line. Yeah, so whatever. That's what we're looking at. Hey, Oikophobic, thanks for coming in. It's gonna be a slow night tonight for us. There's not many of us. Wait, did you say Effective Purpose? That's awesome. Yeah, Effective Purpose. So him and I recorded a video a couple weeks ago. It was like a couple weeks ago, and I followed up with them, and he told me he's gonna be posting it soon. So that'll be coming out for you guys to watch real soon. So yeah, something to look forward to for you guys. Is that Darkcell? Yes, it is. So I'm not too familiar with this content, but I don't know. John from It's Complicated sent this to me, and usually he has pretty good picks. So I don't know. I'm almost tempted to listen to it tonight, but I say before we get into the video, I had a funny video to show you guys, and it's just a 90s late night infomercial it's kind of like a pickup artist thing. So let's just watch that real quick. I just wanted to give you guys some brain rot.
In this big game that we play, life, it's not what you hope for, it's not what you deserve,
it's Tom Cruise. I saw this and it was just interesting because it gives us a little window into what it used to be like. And a lot of this stuff is, in some ways it's new, but in a lot of ways it's also not.
What you take. I'm Frank T.J. Mackey, a master of the muffin. And author.
It almost has to be fake, like an SNL skit, I don't know, like, it must be, only because he has a different name.
The Seduce and Destroy system, now available to you.
The Seduce and Destroy system.
On audio and video cassette. Seduce and Destroy will teach you the techniques to have any hard body blonde just dripping to wet your dock. Bottom line, language. The magical key to unlocking
This must be fake, right? Like, this is fake?
Female analytical mindset. Tap directly into her hopes, her wants, her fears, her desires, and her sweet little panties. Learn how to make that lady friend, your sex-starved servant.
This was probably like a spoof of Ross Jeffries from back in the day.
I don't care how you look. I don't care what car you drive. I don't
Oh
care
my
what your
God.
last bank statement says. Seduce and Destroy produces an instant, money-back guaranteed trance-like state that will get you this naughty sauce you want fast. Hey, how many more times do you need to hear the all-too-famous line of, I just don't feel that way about you?
Order now and get the entire Frank T.J. Mackey Seduce and Destroy system with Frank's personal magical key guarantee for the low price of $29.95 plus shipping and handling. Call 1-877-TAME-HER. That's 877-826-3437. Or check out our website at www.seduceanddestroy.com.
That must be it. Like, it must be a parody, but then at the same time, like, I can almost believe that, you know, it could have been real, but it has to be fake simply because Tom Cruise is in there. So, okay, a little bit of fun there. I'm like 3/4 black pill, but I honestly find so many black pill dudes cringe AF. Yeah, I hear that. Ah, great. That video's kind of giving me, your stream may be temporarily blocked if you plan to continue. Okay, so I can't play that anymore. God damn. Even that old ass thing, man, that's too bad. All right, well, hopefully it doesn't kill the stream, guys. I'm like 3/4 black pill, but I honestly find so many black pill dudes cringe AF. Yeah, I mean, I've never been a fan of the doom and gloom. And I just think, I can understand if you're in the sunken place, you know, but I don't know, man. I don't myself believe in kind of telling people it's hopeless or something like that. So it's just not a mind frame I want to be in. So I kind of feel bad for anybody that's a black pillar. Tom Coombe, it's bad if we can't be sure if it's a skit. Yeah, exactly. It's gotta be a skit though, just because of how like dumb it is. Maybe an old SNL skit. That's what I was thinking too. But when I saw it, I was like, that's so funny. Maybe if it was a skit, it was like predicting the future in some ways. Okay, the hell with it, guys. Let's just go ahead and start watching this. And it has, you know, some of the...
A generation of lost young men turned to the internet looking for role models and instead found a cesspool of self-proclaimed out...
This guy, man, he's back in the limelight lately for reasons he probably wish he wasn't. Any guys been following that whole, what the hell is that? The Miami sort of incident these guys found themselves in. Hey, Base, welcome in, man. It's great to see you, bro. Well, if you find them cringe, don't you think that's why they're black pill?
Alpha males ready to exploit them. These gurus preach confidence and discipline.
I remember this guy. This is the guy that, like, see, that's yet another example, right? The most recent sort of meetup of high value men was, you know, Sneeko and Andrew Tate and those guys, and 24 hours later, they're all beefing with each other. And the last time that kind of happened was when they did another high value man meetup, sort of, and it was like, it was, you know, they were on stage or something, and it was in front of a live audience, and then this guy kind of lost his mind. And it's just funny, you know, because it's like, you know, men are the logical ones. Men, you know, don't get emotional, and you know, brotherhood and loyalty and all that. And then like every time you see these guys get together, they just start fighting. It's like that right there was cringe. Like that's very cringe. And it's like, frankly, a little bit demoralizing. It proves Coach right when he says men aren't getting together to change anything. I know this channel. Yep, I watched a Too Lazy to Try video yesterday. I like his channel. I lost my mind over that Miami thing. I hate that out of all the positive things those idiots could do, and they're doing this. Yeah, that's the crazy part, isn't it? It's really odd. It's really odd. And, you know, people probably have different opinions about what they kind of got in hot water over. But, like, the fact is like, they received some outside pressure to whatever their group was, and they all just, they just started fighting with each other. You know, Andrew Tate disappointed a lot of people. It's funny because like I see on his tweets if I click on him, all the comments seem to be like against him. It's like bad for him, I guess. What are they beefing about? They're beefing about that Heil Hitler song that Kanye made. And I guess, you know, they played it at the club or somebody requested it. And I think they said it was Sneeko, but then it wasn't him, or maybe it was Fresh. I've been trying to follow it. And like a day after or something, Andrew Tate goes on Patrick Bet David's podcast and he's like, it was Sneeko and this and that. And it just looked really bad for his kind of brand, basically. Like, it just didn't fit his character, you know? So everybody was like, wait a minute, why is Top G kind of folding on this? And then it just became this like weird back and forth, which is like hilarious. I almost want to pull up the Too Lazy to Try video. You know what? Gosh, man, I kind of want to do that just because it'll give everybody a background. But the story is so stupid at the same time. I don't even know if it's worth it, but I can't stop watching it because it just seems like it's straight out of a Simpsons episode. Like you couldn't write something this dumb, you know? It's this video right here. Andrew is in total damage control. So, you know, he just... yeah, okay, now I remember. The thing is he came out and he said, like, he basically was trying to, like, say that he wasn't into it when he was totally into it himself. You know what I mean? That was the biggest problem. The problem was he was obviously with it, and then when the pressure came, he folded under the pressure. So for me, regardless of what the heck it's about, I get it, the Heil Hitler, and, you know, to offend some people. But the fact was that he was in it, and then he, like, changed his tune. So everybody was like, what the heck? Why'd you change your tune? Like, why don't you just kind of stand on your square? That's what it was. That's what it was. Now I remember more specifically. There's no brotherhood between wannabe alphas. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna stylize yourself as this kind of alpha male bull, then having all these bulls in the ring, they're gonna start locking horns, I guess. Inevitably. What up? Hey, Mad Villainy, welcome in, man. Looks like we got a stream going. It took a while. I thought this plane wasn't gonna get off the ground. I was like, oh dang, there's only gonna be Klaus in here, and I was gonna do the whole 3 hours for Klaus because I'm not gonna let Klaus down. I'll watch it again. It's pretty stupid. It is, but it's like very funny.
But the deeper you look, the clearer it becomes that their lives are nothing like what
This guy right here also. It's funny, like all of these dudes, like you just see them and they just give off like BS sort of vibes, you know what I mean? And I don't know. The alpha male thing, I mean, you guys know if you've been watching me for a while, it's always been like a little annoying, especially when it's about like crapping on the normal guy. Like especially doing that too much. Or if you're just outright scamming people, which, you know, Andrew Tate has admitted to doing, especially with, you know, his webcam stuff. And there's been all kinds of stuff about Hustlers University kind of just not really delivering on what it's saying it's going to deliver, and just all these kinds of things. Like they're all just selling some type of sauce. It's like that 90s commercial we watched earlier. It's just like, hey, you know, it's just so much overpromising. Miami King of the Hill, Clavicle, Fuentes, Wico, Andrew T. Yeah, it was just super odd. It's just, I don't know. It's just, it's funny. Because when you see all those people like in a different light, especially like just bad lighting, it's like, okay, I'm sitting here and I got like studio lighting and this is how you're used to seeing me. But when you see these people, especially people that have like these huge personas, and then they're just out there and they're next to each other, and it's just like, and there was like so many like these cringe moments where I guess they had like these women over and they're probably paying them to be there in some ways, and they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna ignore the women. It was just really odd, just super. I'm mischaracterizing it, but I saw some stuff and I was like, this is kind of weird.
they sell behind the tough guy persona.
Man, I remember this guy. I don't know if he was like, I don't think he was like, I don't know if he was crapping on guys or anything like that. he was just lying about his gains, which was really bad, especially in the fitness community. I mean, he was taking steroids.
Those are men drowning in insecurity, fraud, lies, and desperation. Some of these guys claim to have the highest IQ on the planet, and others literally admit to doing meth to look more attractive.
I was really surprised by that, man, because I saw him on Michael Knowles, and then afterwards, I'm like, dang, this guy does meth? Like, that's crazy. It's just crazy. Thanks, Oikophobic. Appreciate you sharing that. We're just having fun over here tonight. It's really nothing even too serious.
Today we're discussing the most notorious ones, starting with King Azulai, the alpha who pled guilty to sexual contact with a 15-year-old girl. Ben Azulai essentially looked at Andrew Tate and said, I can do the same thing, only Ben has less charisma and it is way less convincing when he lies.
I'm sorry, man. It's just... You know, I don't know. It's just the overall, everything just looks ridiculous. Like, the beard's just hella extra.
Because his origin story is almost certain.
Like, how could you make cigars look uncool, man? I love cigars.
Certainly completely made up. According to Ben, his mother came to America through the Mexican border to give birth to him. He spent his early childhood going between America and his mother's home country of Israel, before permanently settling in the United States at 10 years old. Ben claims that he began visiting a Chinese restaurant every day for lunch, where he was mentored by the restaurant's owner and trained in the art of kung fu. Ben, who barely spoke English at the time, became the target of bullying at school and used his newly acquired martial arts skills to beat anyone and everyone up who disrespected him.
That's the thing about these alphas. They were just always alpha and they always won and all this kind of stuff. Meth to look more attractive. Seriously, how is that supposed to work? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, doesn't like doing meth destroy your teeth and all that kind of stuff? Like, I don't know, but apparently I've saw that in more than one place.
People really understand things better when they get a fist in their face. They just act different. So everybody started respecting me.
At the age of 13, Ben claims that he fought 30 guys at once and they could not fully defeat
That guy was watching way too much anime.
him. Well, at least that's what I think. He changes the story a lot.
I got my ass kicked one time in my life. I was 13 years old. I got jumped by about 30 guys outside of
Yeah, that's what happened. You know, I never got jumped by 30 guys, but one time 30 convicts were walking by my house and they all did a prayer for me. And I always remember that, man. I got home. I was from work. And I saw this big old group of guys coming. You know, we're talking middle-aged men. Like, anywhere from like 20s to 30s, I guess. And I just got out of my car, and then I was like, dang, there's this giant group of people rolling up on me right in front of my house, you know, and I'm one guy. And they came, you know, and I'm like, okay, how am I going to deal with this? And then they're just like, oh, you know, we're just spray painting the address signs on there for donation or whatever. And I guess they'd all been in prison and they're in some kind of group or something like that. And I got to chatting with them. You know, I donated a little and they repainted the numbers on the sidewalk. And they were some pretty cool guys, man. And then they did this whole prayer for me. And they had me like hold my arms up and it was just like this interesting thing. And I don't know. I was like, hey, man, that was pretty cool. So I guess not as cool as fighting 30 guys and winning, but, you know, I think that was pretty cool.
house party.
When I was 13 years old and got jumped by like 30 guys, they beat the shit out of me. One hit me with a f***ing baton over the face. And that was the time that I stopped hanging out with people. And believe it or not, today, one of my best friends is a black guy. But at the time, you know.
What is that even supposed to mean? So, okay, so he got beat up by 30. He didn't mention race up until this point. Like, he was just like, I got beat up by 30 guys. Then he's like, believe it or not, one of my best friends to this day is the black guy. So what do you mean? Like, who are these? Were these 30 guys black guys? Like, is that what you meant to say? I don't understand.
It was literally people that I knew, and they jumped me, you know. 30.
Okay, so one of his buddies, okay, from back then.
Okay, but that was the time that I stopped hanging out with people. And believe it or not,
Oh, see, I wasn't even reading the caption. Okay, so he was saying it's black
not today,
guys.
one of my best friends is a black guy. But at the time, you know, it was.
Okay, but back then I stopped, but today it's good.
It was literally people that I knew, and they jumped me, you know. 30 guys. They were 17 and 18. I was 13.
I fought guys that were 7 foot tall, and I fought guys that were almost 400 pounds.
Guys, is this the key to the internet? Like, you just come up with like some really fake origin story. And it's just got to be so over the top, but you just got to speak so confidently into the camera and just say that that's really what happened and you were victorious and everything. I want to hear all of your guys' origin stories, please. But share that in the chat. I want to hear all your guys' superhero origin stories.
I fought 10 guys at the same time and beat their ass, and I fought 40 guys and I got jumped by them, and I was 13
Okay, so then it was 40 guys and it wasn't 30. I mean, who was keeping count?
years old. It did not matter how many people it was, how big you are, you could be 50 feet tall.
After developing a reputation for being a fighter, Ben
It's a real David and Goliath story right here, man.
said he joined the Russian mafia and started participating in underground fighting matches.
Dang, so then he was in the Russian mafia and then he was in a fight club. Beard maxing has to be equal proportions to your head. Yeah, there's something off about the beard that like kind of makes me chuckle.
And eventually, at the age of 18, I became one of the guys in the mafia. I was named the Kid, and it was the Russian mob.
He did all this in like the span of like 6 years.
I started fighting underground fights. Wow. Yeah.
Man, this guy knows he's BSing too, and he's just like, damn, this guy paid to be on, so I gotta be in his crap, I guess. Sounds like the plot to the Karate Kid. Yeah. Dang, Luke, I can't pull up your comment for some reason. Hopefully, I don't see Happy Bachelors either. You know what? Let me restart my little Twidget file here. Just a second, guys. I hate it when that happens. Okay, copy. Start. I want to put Luke's comment up on stream. You got to say... There we go. I still don't see Happy Bachelors. Shout out to you, Happy Bachelor. Welcome in, man. You got to say you're like the spiritual son of Vishnu, and you were told to just be an average guy. Exactly. That's the life's purpose right there.
He's telling the freaking truth. You started kicking everybody's butt.
Yeah, he was putting me in there with anybody. I told him, give me anybody, I'll eat their throat. I don't care who it is.
You were just a...
I was a... He was literally saying just...
My favorite...
And then I want to hear about how he made all this money from it, and then he'd fly to Vegas on the weekends, and he'd like, you know, be with the high rollers, and then he started living off being a gambler, you know what I mean? And he just made all his money like Dan Bilzerian style. Yo, Nasuji, shout out to you, man. Nasuji just posted a fun gaming video of us tonight, man, with this beautiful, unique gaming and editing style. Thank you for that.
Part about Ben is that even though he portrays himself as a ruthless, vicious fighter, he does show his deep insecurities for his height. Standing at a mere 5'7", he justifies his height by comparing himself to some of the worst men in human history.
Height doesn't mean anything. It's 5'6". Having longer limbs do not make you any better. You ever seen Putin? 5'6".
No.
Joseph Stalin? 5'7.5".
Anyways, while
all these people, they killed a bunch of people.
he was participating in underground fights at age 18, he was also arrested, which led to some prison time.
I got arrested for something that they said that I did, and I didn't do it. And when I got out, all clean, after I spent a little bit of time in jail, I said, I'm never coming back here again.
Remember?
Yeah, well, you know, man, you don't have your true alpha superhero origin story without some jail time. I think that kind of goes in there. Checking in for support for Shah. Hey, thanks, Timmy. It's always great to see you, man. Always great to see you. Looking cozy on a Saturday night. Yeah, man, I'm just chilling tonight. I worked 6 days this week, so I'm like, you know what? I'll be okay. Everybody hit that thumbs up. Yeah, please hit that like button, guys. Please hit that like button.
This because we would later find out why he actually went to prison, and it was much worse than...
Okay, well, he actually did go to prison then.
Fighting. After his stint behind bars, Ben says he went to China where he trained with Shaolin monks.
So he was beating up 30 guys, and then he was in the Russian mafia. Then he went into China and trained. It was like Kill Bill for a bit for him.
Who taught him some interesting ways to strengthen his bones.
And they explained to me that the strongest part of the body is actually your skull. And if you train your skull for about an hour a day, bang it against the wall, after a year it becomes 4 times thicker than it really is. Which means that you become unstoppable, indestructible.
I actually do believe that Ben would regularly bang his head against the wall, because only someone who did that would manufacture this online persona by using plots from Fight Club,
that's what it sounds
Karate
like.
Kid, and Kung Fu Panda, and think that we were going to believe it. It's very clear that Ben is trying to make his childhood sound more interesting than it actually was, but he lies so much that he can't even keep track of his own contradictions.
See, yeah, that happens to every liar ever, is they'll end up just tripping up.
Now, it is possible that some of his story could be true, but there are so many things that contradict each other to the point where it makes it seem like everything is a lie. Firstly, he said he started his own business shortly after being released from prison and was making 50 grand a month by the time he was 20, thus making him able to retire by age 24. But Ben has also claimed that he worked for a top secret counterterrorism unit for over—
Oh God, yeah, and then he was in counterterrorism. Yeah, he talks like he banged his head a wall. Yeah, I think that's the only part of the story I believe, actually.
For 10 years.
I told you, I worked in counterterrorism for over a decade. So for me, I wasn't allowed to be even on social media or any of these things. And even today, I'm not allowed to even speak about what unit I was in.
Yeah, right. And that's why you're here telling everybody that you were part of it and all that. Like, if it was that, man, this is just a liar.
Things like that for the next 5 years. I can't share it with anybody, but
there's a lot of people out there that would say, now that's where I'm calling bullshit.
Man, God bless this man. God bless this man. Thank you.
That's fine. Nobody cares.
And it's convenient that you can't talk about it, so no one can verify.
Oh, I don't know who this guy is, man, but I wish I can give him some support. The Real Bradley, is that him? The Real Bradley? Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. There must have been like some eye contact tension in that room to where, the other guy, he just was like, all right, I see where you're coming from. And then called his ass out. The host of that show probably actually was, in counterterrorism or something. He's just like, look at this stolen valor ass liar over here lying.
There's units that are called invisible units.
It ain't you, man.
Not doubting you. I always give everyone the benefit of the doubt.
I don't care.
But if I were to question it, I would say, well, wait a minute. At 17, you were homeless. At 18, 19, you were cleaning carpets.
And don't forget, he was in the Russian mafia. I thought he was in the mafia at 18, and then he was, with China.
Got into telemarketing. Yeah, then
he was in jail for 6. How does this all fit?
Doing real estate, and you start investing here and there. That was only 10 years ago. So when was the counterterrorism?
Yeah.
And who is it for? The Israeli army?
Well, it's Israel and the United States. You work with both.
Yeah, sure, man. Sure.
The CIA.
No. Counterterrorism is a little bit different.
But you had to be with somebody.
Yeah, but...
God, man, I can just imagine this guy trying to sell you life insurance.
And talk about who I was with. Come on.
Now, if he truly retired at age 24, then he would have had to start working in this alleged counterterrorism unit at the age of 14. This also means that he would have been working in this position while he was going to high school, fighting in underground cage matches, living with Chinese monks, and also being locked up in prison. And since we can't tell what is actually a lie and what is the truth, it's easy to assume that his lifestyle of endless riches, mansions, and sports cars are also greatly embellished. Taking a look at his personal website, Ben
retired at the age of 24 after selling patents for $150 million. Well, isn't that amazing? Isn't that fantastic? Since then, he's invested in hundreds of businesses as a venture capitalist and took an active role in 16 businesses. Wow, 16 businesses that have generated over 500 million in sales. Yeah, I bet he was in Forbes 30 under 30 too. He won multiple medals in bodybuilding competitions and has competed in many cage fights around the world. In March of 2023, Ben started creating videos on social media, gaining over 1 billion views in 8 months. If life was a video game, Ben is the character you would want to be. Since you can't be Ben, the next best thing is to be coached by him. Ben has mentored hundreds of people.
Have made his $150 million fortune selling patents. I was only able to find 2 published patents under the name of Benjamin Azoulay.
Okay. Oh, here's the patents. Okay. A detection. So face detection and optical wireless communication module. And a wireless optical communication module. And he sold these for $150 million.
both of which were filed in 2020. Even if we were to assume that both of these patents somehow sold for a grand total of $150 million, they were filed well after his 24th birthday, which he claims at that point was when he was able to retire due to his endless riches. I'm fairly certain that this is a completely different person with the same name, and Ben has no history of selling patents at all. He also claims in his biography to have had an active role in 16 different businesses that have generated $500 million in sales.
While he was in China getting trained by Shaolin masters, by the way.
As well as claiming to have won multiple awards for both bodybuilding and cage fighting. I tried to find any evidence of these claims and came up with absolutely nothing. But at the end of the day, even the most simple framing of Ben's life doesn't make sense. If he truly made 150 mil and was able to retire at age 24, why is he trying to sell people a self-improvement course online? According to Ben, it's because he wants to impart his wisdom to young men and help them become strong and successful like he claims to be.
I always find it a little odd, like when people claim they got a bunch of businesses, and I'm like, man, how could you be like streaming for that many hours a week, or doing that much social media stuff if you got all these businesses to run? Like every business person I know in real life who has even 2 businesses or even 3, those guys are like super busy. You know, there's no time for this. Not really. Probably got chronic traumatic encephalopathy like some of the football players. Yeah, CTE. I'm just glad I had a normal childhood except for being a military brat. Yeah, that's a big blessing. I'm above the poverty line, and that's saying something these days. That's a blessing, absolutely. His hairline is not receding. No, his forehead is growing stronger than my forehead is. Best of all, I'm bald.
There's nothing that could impress me. I don't care if you have a Bugatti, you have a private jet, you have a yacht. I've seen it all. I don't care for it. I care for people now. And what I do for many years now is coach people, help guys not to go through the things that I went through. You could be a strong man. You could be a tough guy. You could be an alpha, but you got to do it right.
You can be an alpha. Dang, I almost need that as a soundbite. You can be an alpha.
His sentiment, as nice as it sounds, doesn't hold much weight. Someone who made $150 million would not be selling a course. The course he's selling is funding the mansion,
got the Lamborghini Urus,
cars, and lifestyle he portrays. But there is one thing Ben is telling the truth about. He did in fact spend time in prison, although he hasn't been fully honest about how he ended up there. A YouTuber named John Bravo Films was able to uncover court documents revealing that Ben was sentenced to—
Wow, that's a hero YouTuber right there. That's a hero. This is a lawsuit by a young woman stemming from a brutal R-word and SA committed against her by defendants Ben Azule and some other people. Oh my gosh, this was some kind of a group activity on July 13th, 2008 at the home of the defendants. At the time, the defendant was only 15 years old and a virgin. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, so this is really bad. Oh my gosh. Wow. As a direct and proximate result of something combined with the negligence and negligent supervision of the defendants, okay, of the parents, huh? Wow.
Prison after
I don't even know what the hell.
His brother and his friends took turns brutally assaulting a 15-year-old girl while she was intoxicated. Without getting into specifics, the court documents tell an unbelievably violent and graphic story that resulted in the young girl becoming both mentally and physically scarred from the event.
Wow, it's always the people you most expect, you know.
Once the girl was able to escape the men, she called the police and the 3 were arrested. Ben was 18 years old and thus tried as an adult. He also admitted his guilt in open court.
Wow.
Ben vehemently denied all of the information.
Wow, okay, yeah, I mean, and then this guy was he... Oh my God.
That John Bravo revealed and responded exactly how you would expect him to. He basically said he is being canceled by The Matrix.
Oh my God, not The Matrix again. Ugh.
Like I pissed off a lot of people, guys. A lot of people.
There's like actual court documents of like admissions.
So many, because I became so influential so quick. And I'm literally one of the most talked about influencers in the world today, that I got to the point that they're putting out a lot of false information about me. A lot of bullshit. But you see, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm gonna say this. It looks like the Matrix is attacking me.
But the pressure from those online was too big for Ben to ignore, so he further elaborated in a now deleted video where he claims the entire situation was made up. He claims that the girl in question filed a $15 million lawsuit, and rather than spending hundreds of thousands in lawyers' fees, they settled for a much smaller amount under the agreement that he pled guilty. The story completely contradicts what is—
Wow, so like, I mean, even if he's lying about that, he's basically saying, like, all this stuff happened. Maybe he was trying to say it's false. At approximately 5:05 a.m., Richard and Judy received a phone call from her. She was crying and asked her parents to come pick her up at the corner. Richard and Judy arrived to find her still intoxicated and vomiting. Bruises on her legs, told her parents what had happened. Oh, my gosh. I believe it.
Verifiably written in the court documents, as they directly claim that the nurses observed physical signs of SA all over the girl's body. Unsatisfied with his response, John Bravo continued exposing Ben.
Look at this hero right here, man. This is a hero for exposing
that
him.
This was not even the first time Ben was charged with SA. The court documents clearly state that Ben and his brother Dylan had a past history of charges for SAing underage intoxicated girls. King Azulai has continued to try and define exactly—
It's scumbags like this that make the entire, you know, any legitimate men's rights movement look bad. I mean, they love these guys to be able to, you know, hold them up to discredit and just throw a bad light over things.
What really happened, but whenever he clarifies things, it doesn't exactly make him look better.
I was never convicted of. I was convicted of oral copulation with a minor.
Okay, man. Okay.
I was 18, she was under 18, and I agreed to take a plea deal that I got a job from her. They were trying to teach me a lesson because a year before that, when I was underage, I had a fight with my ex-girlfriend. She cheated on me. I got hell of upset and I smacked her in the back of the head.
So this whole thing about like 30 people beating him up is just like his way of projecting kind of what he did with the group of other people to somebody else who was small and defenseless. I think that's what's going on here.
Recently, he has accused his most prominent detractors, including John Bravo, of hiring a hitman to take out his mother.
But these men are not the ones that I worried about so much. It's about this email that I received this morning. An email that sounds like it's coming from a hitman.
Yeah. You just sent yourself an email with your alt account, man.
This kind of an email describes exactly what they're going to do to my mother.
The email Ben shows is almost—
Okay, I see the email. I've decided instead of you, I'm making your mother my target. I'm stalking her already. I am going to something her. Someday this fall or winter, she is going to touch something greasy, which will be DMSO with an overdose of scopolamine and atropine in it. She'll like, what in the cartoonish hell is this? Where the villain like talks about his whole plan and everything. Oh, God, she'll fall out and stop forming memories as long as it's active. This way I can take her to a third location. God, man, this is horrible writing, and she won't remember any of it. I am going to something her until as no longer works. Film it all and upload it to the dark web and mainstream sites all over, including her real and full name. Just trying to spread it so she can't ever escape it. Okay. All right, buddy. So you wrote yourself a note. Man, what a piece of crap. That's a real alpha. Exactly. Yeah, he really is, man.
Certainly completely fabricated, coming from an email address that doesn't even exist.
Okay.
Meaning Ben made this entire thing up just to paint himself as the victim. Now, whatever credibility he has left is certainly gone. And still to this day, Ben is trying to rebrand from being known as a fraud and a violent abuser, much like Wes Watson, who was once seen as the example of how an ex-convict can truly turn their life around, to now facing charges that could land him back behind bars. When Wes Watson first started posting content back in 2019, his videos mainly focused on his time spent in federal prison. Wes claims that he started selling weed during his teenage years and was making up to $40,000 a week. Although Wes has given various different versions of this story, so that's just a rough estimate.
At 11, I just started hustling. By the time I was 16, I went and bought
This guy was in a boxing match recently, and I think he lost the match pretty fast, apparently. It was like really fast. Like we're talking like a minute and a half.
A truck at like a lifted Z71 cash, like 50 grand. I had hundreds of thousands of dollars at 15, 16.
Yeah, sure you did, man.
Started smoking weed at like 13 or 12. By the time I was 14 or 15, the natural progression was to start slanging.
And despite selling what he describes as a large amount of product, he managed to avoid the law for a long time. That was until a fateful night in November of 2009 where Wes physically assaulted a man after a drug deal that had gone wrong. Notably, Wes was not actually involved in the deal itself, but rather serving as more of a low-level grunt called in after the deal fell through. Not exactly the hotshot kingpin he claims he was. What is true is that Wes spent nearly a decade in prison, and stories he told from his time locked up brought him almost immediate success on YouTube. In under half a year since his first upload, Wes was already able to get 250,000 subscribers. And during the pandemic, Wes had a unique opportunity and began creating more motivational content to help.
You know, maybe his I don't know, you know, maybe a lot of this is just people who start off in social media and then they get some traction, you know, and then it starts to slow down and they're like, oh man, I really got to think of something to get views. And then they just keep overdoing it until they're just like a full-blown caricature of anything and fake. I don't know. They probably, you know, quit their day job too early.
People increase their mental fortitude and physical fitness while trapped at home. This is when Wes began offering what he describes as self-mastery programs, which sought to teach.
Like that doesn't sound horrible in itself. Okay, you know, this guy was in prison and, you know,
teach young men how to hone in their physical strength, business capabilities, and mindset. Thanks to programs like this, Wes claims that he now makes an average of $3 million per month.
Like, yeah, but see that, you know, but then when you start being like a straight liar like that, then that's just where you, like, come on, man, you could do all these positive things, but like, why do you got to lie and embellish it?
You don't make $1 million a month. You make a third of what I make a month. If you make $1 million a month, I can't respect someone who's doing a third of me financially.
Oh my God, I forgot how much of a terrible.
Financially, I can respect the guy whose yacht is in 300 million. He murdered me. I have to understand what he did.
Although we have no way to verify how much money he was actually making, what I can say for sure is any businessman who was making $3 million per month would absolutely respect and listen to the advice of another businessman who was making $1 million per month. Despite his arrogance, Wes was relatively respected in the early days of his content creation career. His videos served as a cautionary tale of just how brutal and unforgiving spending time in federal prison can be. Wes sold himself as a man who learned from his mistakes and was trying to teach other people lessons that he had to learn the hard way. And
see, I think that could be positive. You know, like that's fair.
In particular, Wes has claimed that his anger issues were the catalyst for many of his problems.
My biggest vice is anger. I have a problem with it. It's the biggest battle of my life. These vices hold us from everything, all our dreams, everything we could ever possibly just gather up and love for our lives. Our vices are holding us from it.
Of course, Wes put on the persona that he was a changed man and now found healthy ways to deal with his anger.
I don't fall victim to my old vices.
Well, it's unfortunate because, you know, everybody saw him on stage just kind of like lose his mind.
Drugs, the negative shit, the anger. I don't fall victim to it no more. I've done so good on my anger lately too. I'm so proud of it. You guys, you have to drop all this shit and not drag your family through the mud.
But this didn't seem to be the case, as conflicts in his personal life made it to the public eye, and they showed that Wes hadn't really changed at all, particularly when Valerie Watson, Wes's now...
Oh my God. If I remember this guy, I think it came out that he was basically like dating an escort or something.
Ex-wife posted a video to social media accusing her husband of both physical and emotional abuse.
I literally
Maybe this was a different girlfriend or wife.
have held my tongue for way too long to protect him. It's not happening anymore. He's physically hurt me so many times that it's unforgivable. And I do have a video of Wes charging at me and has put like a knife to my face and
Yeah, he looks completely calm in this video. Exactly. Yo, FX Trader, I would respect any legitimate businessman who makes $1 million a month. Yeah, exactly. It's just, well, he makes a third of me and everything is relative to what I make. Therefore, I don't respect him because, you know, using these numbers, he doesn't measure up. And just like, dude, get the hell out of here.
literally have told me, like, has threatened to kill me.
Valerie also specifically emphasizes that the person West portrays himself to be online is a lie, and that he did not follow the same rules and principles he promoted to his audience. She also included pictures of her bloodied hand and bruised arms, implying that West had directly caused the injuries. Then again, it is possible that he had a jealous ex who was just trying to make up stories because he was becoming successful and popular online. That is for sure what West's fanbase thought, which is why this wasn't the final nail in the coffin for his career. And over the next few years, more information would come out about West that essentially proved to his detractors that his whole life was a hoax. His mega mansion, which...
Oh man, let's hear about that.
He claimed to have purchased was not actually his. The property was listed for rent at $65,000 a month in October of 2022, and the listing
$65,000 a month
was removed a month later in November, right before he uploaded his vlog showing off the property. His Bugatti Chiron he also does not own. Even his girlfriends, and I'm not joking, are literally rented. West was exposed for hiring a female escort for $200 an hour and pretending that she was his actual girlfriend. His house is rented, his cars are rented, and even his girlfriends are rented.
Man, you know, sometimes I think we humans are very simple folk. You know, we just see images and we're just like, yeah, look at all these cool things in one frame. That's awesome. This guy is tight.
Which doesn't mean that he is secretly broke. It's just clear he isn't exactly the business mogul he claims to be.
Yeah.
If Wes had taken...
That's the thing, like, he's got money. Like, if you're gonna pay 65 grand a month here for rent, that's pretty cool. But why you gotta lie about everything, man? That's the messed up part.
The money he's been wasting on overpriced cars and homes for Instagram and actually invested it, he could have actually owned real assets by now. A large property, maybe not supercars, but still expensive luxury cars. But he didn't do that because Wes is creating the illusion of success to sell more courses and coaching to people who don't understand what real success.
How does it work? Working with me is like nothing you've ever experienced before. Your friends and family care about you, but they can't offer the kind of proven guidance, support, and accountability consistently that I will personally give you to accelerate your success. If you can't seem to do it by yourself or you're feeling overwhelmed and stuck, I give you the blueprint. You know, again, like, if people want to be coaches and stuff, like, I don't think that's necessarily bad, but lying about your results and just being a liar is never good.
Which is, I have to admit, ironically a good business strategy. The problem is this relies on the customer lacking intelligence and desperately wanting a role model, and thus paying a con artist with deep insecurities. He even lies about his height. Despite being listed as 5'8" in court documents, Wes gets furious when anyone suggests he's shorter than 6 feet tall.
How tall am I? I'm 6 foot. When we went into medical, when I was booked, I was 6'2", 252. And I said,
now, was that after the you know, the femur lengthening surgery or whatever it is, the tibia? I can't remember, the shin lengthening.
Why the does my paperwork say 5'8", 230? That's the eyeball of the arresting officer.
To make matters worse, he literally uses special insoles to boost his height, and he does a terrible job at hiding it. Wes has such a hard time keeping track of his lies that the alpha womanizer admitted to being bisexual during an interview.
I was in a Q&A on the way here. Someone said, skinny or thick chicks? I'm like, I like them skinny thick. You know, what the f you mean? Like, everything's like that for me. They're like, are you straight or are you this? I'm everything. I'm not just one or the other.
And despite portraying himself as a stoic yet intense tough guy who learned from his mistakes and can now control his anger, Wes's temper was completely out of control, violently threatening anyone.
Yeah, this thing right here. Yeah, this is another example of a bunch of high value guys coming together to save the world, and they just end up, you know, sinking it all down.
Who had a different opinion than him.
Are you saying that your Bugatti and your money and everything else is worth more than your children?
Like, my dad's a superhero.
And the thing is, I remember when this happened, like, he kind of came out swinging against him for, like, no reason, really. He's just, it's like he was anticipating to argue with him or something, so he just immediately started, like, I can't take this guy seriously.
Look what he brought to the table. Look how hard this guy works. He came from nothing to this.
Yeah.
He works, God damn it.
You're still whining. Stop whining and just make an argument.
Dude, I'll smack your fat ass.
So you're gonna
He looks like he's got a diaper on.
I've never seen such a pathetic motherfucker.
Okay, well,
let's chill out a little bit, man. A little bit.
This is not what men
look
like.
Let's let him
What do they
finish
look
his
like?
point.
What do they look like? Bald prisoners?
Like many of these alpha males, Wes also had a habit of challenging other men to fights whenever he felt slighted by them, leading up to an altercation that would change his life forever. Now, the nature of this video is extremely graphic and cannot be shown on YouTube, but footage of Wes violently beating up another man would be leaked by
I forgot about this. I forgot about that.
John Bravo, in which we can see Wes hit the man with a weightlifting belt, then him and his friends pin the man down and endlessly hurl punches at his head and even kick him in the face multiple times.
Oh, it's terrible, man. And again, he's really controlled and chill. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Raymond. Welcome in, man. Dude, I was just watching your stream. Bro, that story that you told about going camping with that girl, oh my God, that was hilarious. It also sounds like a nightmare. And if I heard you right, it sounds like she was driving. Was that like the first and last time you'd ever let somebody, especially like a woman like that, drive? I think I'm a little traumatized. I'll be like, nah, I insist to drive. You know what? I'll just drive. I'll drive. Man, thanks for sending your chat over, man. I appreciate that. Shout out to the folks from Raymond Thoughts and Mind. We're just having fun talking about alpha males and their, exploits, and they're exploited. And the reason I decided to go into that tonight was because I keep seeing all these clips of a bunch of alpha males coming together in Miami, and now they're all fighting each other. So I'm just wondering what they've been up to lately.
The man in question would press charges, leading Wes to be arrested for felony assault and battery. He is now facing up to 25 years in prison.
How many of you guys have been to Miami? Let me put a poll out. Start a poll. How many of you guys have been to Miami? Well, it's just, have you been to Miami? Let me just do that. Have you been to Miami? Also, guys, you might see that I think there's the join button now. I enabled members on the channel, but that's just for supporting the channel. I have no members only content, and I don't really plan to do members only streams or content. So everybody sees the streams, but you might notice that's there. So if you hit the members only, please don't expect anything special because there's nothing lined up for that.
Ironically, Wes is now right back where he started and potentially may find himself behind bars once again. Recently, he has
it's that lady. I've seen her on like some viral videos before.
Restricted or completely disabled his comment sections on all of his social media accounts, going to show just how fragile his ego really is.
Man, that's sad. I kind of feel bad for him now that he's going back to jail. Because, I don't know, things seem to be going good for him, but I don't know, he's going to end up in jail again. But, he shouldn't have beat up some guy. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, he didn't conquer his anger like he said, unfortunately. That's sad, man. It's just really sad. It's really sad. But he was a liar, and all that kind of stuff. So what do you expect, But I hate that that's the case. I wish he could have really turned it around and not ever having to end up being back in jail. Sad. It's sad. I was 6, but I was there. Yo, Orem, shout out to you, man. Yeah, I went to Miami for the first time in my life in, what was that, 2023? And I actually got a real Miami experience because I went out there with my buddy I went out there for work, I was working with one of my buddies, and he had a job and needed some extra help. And he knew some other business owners out there that were very rich. And so we got to really go around and do all these things. And it sounds like a lie, but I found myself in some high-end clubs smoking cigars, and we did all kinds of stuff, skeet shooting. I went out to the Everglades, and I went to the Florida Keys even. I mean, I'm telling you, it was one hell of a trip. But yeah, I don't know, man. Florida is Florida is a special place. Miami especially. It's a different place, man. I guess I'm not surprised all these people kind of end up over there. I'm just curious, if anybody else who's been there, if they agree with me on that. Something about Miami. And then there's like a very specific way that Miami people all have these like this business guy mentality that's very distinct from like a New Yorker business guy. I have no idea who that guy is.
Worst of all, his reputation is so destroyed that the only people who are willing to collaborate with him are people like Jack Dougherty and the Island Boys. Wes is a perfect example of someone who would have greatly benefited from following his own advice.
God, maybe we need a new hub for streamers, like men streamers that isn't Miami. I think we've had enough out of Miami.
Like the Liver King, who had a psychotic meltdown after being exposed for not living the lifestyle he promoted. Brian Johnson, better known as the Liver King, was a divisive figure from the very beginning of his career. His claim to fame was the promotion of what he calls the ancestral lifestyle, which sought to replicate the daily routine of our ancient human ancestors.
I don't actually see this guy as like bad. I don't think he was like, I don't know. I don't think he was like really a bully. The people I can't stand are like bullies, you know, but I don't know if this guy was more a bully or if he just, but he did lie and got exposed for the lie. But I don't think he was exactly a bully. So like when I don't, you know, but we'll find out his story here.
This meant consuming a diet of foods like raw liver, raw bone marrow, and even raw bull testicles. His ancestral,
like, you know, that's entertaining. But yeah, he was lying about the steroids, but I can look past that compared to some of these other guys. Hey, Reaper Put, welcome in, man. It's one of the modern Babylons. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Miami certainly
lifestyle also applied to his workout routines, which were designed to simulate the physical strain that an ancient hunter-gatherer would experience during a hunt. Now, the idea of eating bull nuts already made the Liver King
I like his hat.
Giant meme, but those more familiar with health and fitness believe that Brian was not entirely honest about his ancestral way of living.
There's nothing ancestral about this guy. He's training with high-tech equipment, training properly, progressive overload.
I've seen this guy before, Greg.
Spoil it right now. I don't think he's natural. Don't believe that. And for all the haters, I want to be clear. I believe that there's more than a 50% chance that he's on PEDs.
Brian emphasized a natural and organic lifestyle more than the average fitness influencer. So the idea of him,
you know, it's interesting. Like when I think people talk about the manosphere, at least red pill manosphere, I think a lot of people look at like it evolving from pickup artistry, and that kind of goes into things like looks maxing. But you know, then there's also the fitness stuff there, which kind of contributed a little bit to it, and it's almost, you know, like the red pill just kind of embellishes and seems to extremify a lot of these things.
potentially using performance-enhancing drugs would be a much greater scandal than average.
At least the content creators of it, you know. Oh my God.
Of course, Brian was well aware of this and always rejected the idea that he was using steroids.
Other than the fact that you have a body that you have earned on your own, are you against steroids?
This is what I'll say. I care in the most positive way, because when somebody says, hey man, you're on steroids, and they've been saying this for 20 or 30 years. I've been working out since I was 8. So when I was in high school, hey man, you're on steroids. This is a great compliment.
There's a lot of subprimals that are convinced that Liver King is taking steroids.
Is Liver King natty?
Do you think if I was on steroids, I would have these appendages down here?
Man, you think if he would have just been honest from the beginning and said, you know what, yeah, I did do steroids for a little bit, but let me just tell you, man, it's not good, man. Like, you shouldn't do it. There was all these things that went wrong, and so now I don't believe in steroids. Maybe it would have killed his career back then. I don't know. But yeah, he was lying. 26 watching and 17 likes. What are we doing, guys? Like. Yes, please hit that like button. I'd appreciate that. I'm eating cold fried chicken from a deli shop. You know, in some ways, depending on what spices are in there, it sounds like it could be good. If it's like a fried chicken that's like a day old, I could do that. Man, fried chicken sounds really good right now. I've been on a freaking food binge lately, ever since the holidays. I even got like tubby again. But that's okay, man. I mean, but I might go get some fried chicken tomorrow. See, now you're putting me in the mood, and you know, before I get back on the horse, I might as well have all the good stuff. If it was raw, Raymond, you could look like that guy. yeah, Raymond, you gotta go natty, bro, and you gotta like live the ancestral lifestyle. Raymond, that's gonna be your new content arc is you pulling like flipping over tires in your front yard and doing all kinds of things. Come to Ohio. I will show you our food. Someday, man, someday I'd like to fly out to Ohio and hang out with you. Even if it was just for like two or 3 days, I'd at least like to go there and buy you a steak. Or if you're ever in my neck of the woods, man, we'd definitely do that.
These legs
have legs.
Do you see how little my legs are? When I was in college, I weighed 175 pounds and I was single-digit body fat. I started working out about 8 or 9 years old. I had already been working out for, I don't know, 10 or 12 years. So
you know, man, it would be cool to be a really big YouTuber. Like, I'd love that. Even if it was only for like a year of my life. Like, if that really happened. I just hope and pray that I don't become a liar in the process. Like, I just hope I don't sit here and start making stuff up, at least, you know, especially really egregious things.
So now I'm 45 and I've gained less than 1 pound a year over 25 years. So this is what I say to people that make this accusation. If you don't believe this is possible, then I suggest that you take that self-limiting belief, you put that in a box and you bury that next to all your embarrassing shit and don't open your mouth about it. Let that live with you. Don't let that live with somebody else.
Oh, man, there's a little bit of foreshadowing. Hey, bury the skeletons. Don't tell anybody. It's okay. Just keep going. I hear the Amish feed you well. I bet you they do. I bet you they have a great nutrition program over there. Reaper says, I honestly want to know how these guys manage to live this fake life, renting 3 Bugattis and living by hopping from mansion to mansion. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, that in a way, that is kind of a skill in itself to like maintain this. I mean, God knows what their finances looks like. To be honest, they probably leave a sort of just a wake of damage as they go through this, because like they probably just consume people and people's credit and convince people to do stupid stuff and then screw them over, and then they use that money to get like the next mansion, you know, before they get run out of town over there. Like, it's like a true grifter in every sense of the word. And the thing about online grifting is maybe you get caught faster. I don't know, where like the old school grifters, they go from town to town and they grift before people like can compare notes, you know, and then pretty soon they're gone. But I think the answer to that, Reaper, is grifting and screwing people out of money in some ways. Oh, Shah, I'm barely a YouTuber and I get people showing up at my house now. Oh my God, that's scary, man. I believe it. Yeah, that I wouldn't want. But I guess that kind of comes with it. So you do, you know, that is kind of a thing. I get it, man. But that's scary, bro. Sometimes you see some of those big YouTubers like Kai or iShowSpeed. iShowSpeed's like one of them, and like you'll see like a crowd of people around that guy. Like, I don't want that. That seems scary. Just, you know, but you know, just like, I don't know. You know what I mean? But that kind of fame is scary, actually. All of my content is fabricated. Well, thanks for telling us, man, at least. So now we know that going in. That's kind of you, man. The Amish are generally great, but many of them hate anyone who isn't Amish. Hey, man, I can get it, bro. I feel like they all probably own their own land and everybody works and contributes and you know, they probably don't even hate everybody because they just hate outsiders. They probably just see outsiders and they're like, you guys don't want to pull your own weight. And because of that, they hate them. Like every outsider they ever met just disappointed them, you know? And then like the food sucked that they ate, and the Amish were like, we actually hate all of you people now, you know? So maybe they have good reason. I've never met any group of people who can look through you as the Amish can. Many of them are awesome though. I could see that. Yeah, they're probably honest people, so they can just see a BSer from I don't know. You know, I haven't met any Amish. Maybe if I met them, they wouldn't like me, and then I wouldn't be, you know, glazing them this hard. But I'd like to think they're a good, hardworking folk, you know? You get any good-looking gals showing up? Yeah, Raymond, that could be another side effect, right? You know, you might have some weirdos come by, but you might have some ladies that are like, hey, Raymond. I used to stalk Shah daily. Used to show up to his workplace all the time, for example. Yeah, you're a good stalker, though, man. I actually, bro, I used to stalk you. I used to go over to Orub's cubicle, and we'd just chat about all this fun stuff. I once recommended a book to Orem, and I told him it was good, and I never actually read the book. I did own the book, though. It's literally this book, and I read like the first couple chapters, and like I was like, wow, this book is actually really good. Like I've read enough books to know where I could tell a story is going to be good. You know, I was like, damn, like this is pretty good. And I was telling Orem about it, and Orem actually got the book, read the whole thing, came back, and he was like, dude, you were right. That book is really good. And then like I told him that I didn't actually read the whole thing, or I still needed to finish it. And he was like, this guy recommended a book to me and didn't actually finish the whole book. I'll always remember that. One of these days, I'll go and finish reading that, by the way. Hello, man. Let's go. This is Shah. Absolutely. Yeah, this is going to be the meteoric rise of the This is Shah channel. We're going to the moon, folks. You're going to see it all, too. It's going to be a new Shah. Most recent post was a blackhead creator for people who want more blackheads. Interesting. Contrary to popular belief, we don't have that much Amish here. Ohio is kind of like an extension of southern New Jersey. Okay. I think I remember you mentioning, I can't remember if it was Amish or another group. I think it was Amish. I remember you in an episode, you're talking to an older Amish woman, and she was talking about marrying off the kids, and you were surprised, or like, it was just interesting that you heard the term marry off. I still remember that episode. You guys know any single ladies? Man, I swear, if I ever meet up with Raymond in real life, I'm not going to be that annoying guy that's like, hey, Raymond, go talk to her. But maybe we can go out to, you know, a bar or something and just have some fun time playing some darts. You know, maybe we'll meet a nice lady or two. How about that? Got a single mom, all tatted up, ex-drug user. She's looking for a good man. Hey, Happy Bachelor has somebody for you, Raymond. The entire... Wow, it's part of a series. I didn't even know that. Actually, that's good to know, though. Thank you for that.
Notice how he never responds to the question with no. He only did outright deny his usage briefly one time on No Jumper.
I remember when there was a fight on this guy's podcast. And it was really odd, too, because he got, like, really scared. He didn't try to break up the fight. And maybe it's easy for me to saying here, but it was, like, odd. Like, it was like, dude, like, you should try to break up the fight, man. Like, they're fighting on your set, you know, and he didn't. That's what I remember about this guy. Gosh, man, something about this is weird. Like, to have your foot at the corner of the table when there's food there. I know it's mostly a prop, and it's just part of this guy's brand, but damn. It's one comfortable gentleman. Before your channel goes viral, you have to make up a backstory. Yeah, exactly. I have to come up with my alpha male superhero backstory. Oh, God. Well, the easy backstory of fighting 30 older people and beating them up has already been taken, unfortunately, so I can't do that. You know what, bro? I have to talk about how I was like, you know, some kind of a gentleman thief, and I'm basically like Lupin the Third, and that I actually trained and was mentored by one of his many disciples. And it's like a secret order or something. I don't know. Like I might have to go that way. I don't drink. Okay, let's not do that. That's actually good because I barely drink either. We'll go somewhere, man. We'll figure it out. We'll have fun. And no matter what, we're going to go to a nice steak place. Man, steak sounds good right now. No Jumper is a degenerate. Yeah, he's been in some odd stuff.
Again, for the record, I've never taken steroids. I'm thinking about doing it.
Despite this, very few were actually convinced that he was natural. And when you think about it, hardly anything about Brian's life was ancestral to begin with. He lives in a modern house and posts...
Yo, Raymond, by the way, man, when I was watching your stream today, I really like the new camera angle on your stream. And I was like really admiring just how much work you put into your YouTube channel. Like, you stream a lot, man, and you like post so many videos, and it was like inspiring me to do more. So I just wanted to say that, that you are a positive inspiration to me, sir. Thank you for that. Okay.
On social media every day, not to mention that he uses real weights, modern workout routines, and even a hyperbaric chamber to maintain his figure, all of which ancient humans never had.
That's funny.
Plus a seemingly endless supply of supplements. I mean, just look at him compared to actual people living a tribal lifestyle.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like, if you look at the North Sentinelese, you know, I'm sure they got some nice muscle fibers. They could probably break branches in two with just their bare hands, but you know, they don't look like your typical bodybuilder.
Simply look nothing like him. It's amazing what this primal ancestral diet can do for the human body.
As you can see, these African hunters all share the same physique as Liver King.
You can see these African hunters all share the same physique as Liver King. People had good reason to be skeptical, but without definitive proof, Liver King could have just been an anomaly. This would change when he was exposed in a series of leaked emails by a fitness YouTuber named Derek, better known as More Plates, More Dates. These emails were sent before Brian's internet fame and show him consulting with a bodybuilding coach on how to improve his physique with the use of performance-enhancing drugs. He notably emphasizes the importance of fine-tuning his regimen in preparation for a social media campaign to grow his following, and lists out his current stack of performance-enhancing drugs.
Oh my God. Wow. So he literally just, like, that is crazy. I've been working out for 35 years. I know how to eat, train, rest. I even have a hard shell hyperbaric chamber at my house, but as I've reached my mid-40s, it's getting harder and the back fat effing kills me. To support these exhaustive efforts, I've recently started taking Omnitrope, the 5.8 mg vials from Empower Pharmacy, $11K USD per month. Man, these guys, for my new dose, which is 4 vials a week. You know, I know a lot of times guys will kind of, you know, poke fun at women for as much as money as they spend on like makeup and these kinds of things, whatever the hell they use, you know. But damn, some guys, man, $11K a month. I don't know if this is grossly underdosed or what. Wow, and then here's all his other stuff.
Media campaign to grow his following, and lists out his current stack of performance-enhancing drugs. We also get a look at blood work results that Brian shows in relation to his drug usage. Most damning.
Wow, God, how much evidence do you have, man? Like, that's crazy. My God. I want to know what Klaus would have as a backstory. I feel like Klaus is like a Batman or something like that. I mean, he's already in the Klaus mobile. My story is way too boring to be of any interest to anyone. I think you got a story that's probably more interesting than most. I mean, you're in the military for a bit, and if you grew up with military parents and you probably traveled around a lot of places too, that you could probably cobble something together. But you got to remember, you don't want to cobble the truth. You have to like really embellish things, and then you got to lie about a lot of things. So what you want to say is that like actually when you were in the 3rd grade, they recognized how gifted you were. And then you were part of the GATE program, you know, which was like gifted and talented education or something. And then from there, because you performed so well, they actually took you into this kind of like off the book secret program as a child and got you involved in like all these kinds of like telekinetic abilities and things that you have. And you were trained in that. And then from there you were in the military and then, you know, all these top secret things. So you got to like completely lie about it to have like a true, you know, alpha male YouTuber lying backstory, basically. Hey, Post Millman, welcome in, man. It's great to see you. Shah, I bought a few Punch cigars, and they are really good. Man, I want a cigar so badly right now. It's not even funny. Like, that would feel... It sounds really, really good. Like, man, I wish I was sitting outside on a porch smoking a cigar. We're going to get one of these days. This narrator has clearly never heard of the secret hyperbaric tribe in Atlantis. Yeah, exactly. They all used hyperbaric chambers that like grew on trees and it was completely natural. Per chat GPT, clearly illegal without a prescription testosterone. Cypionate Deca. Oh God, I don't know. It sounds pretty steroid. That language looks like it took steroids itself. I'm really, really bad at BS and also way too lazy to keep track of lies, so I'll admit to being boring. I just make stuff up that is so obviously not true that no one believes me but thinks I'm cool anyways. Well, Orum's backstory is that he's actually from the medieval times, and what happened was he was actually put into cryo sleep. So actually Orum is a Knights Templar, basically, and he's trained in actually an anointed knight. And part of the order. Now, when the order had to go like more underground and was basically abolished, it was never really abolished because what happened is Orum went into cryo sleep. And this was all a plan, and the plan was that he was going to create the new Templar Order, and that's what he's been doing. And he, you know, his job and everything is just a cover story for what he's really been doing, but now he's ready to, you know, take it to the next level. And for $800 a month, you too can be a new Templar Knight if you just pay for Orum's course, which is actually rooted in the true secrets of the Templars. Oh, buddy Shah's been watching Gate YouTube videos. I remember Gate, man, when I was younger. There was a time where I'm not lying about this either, but I never was in Gate, but they were looking at me for Gate. And then they probably determined that I just didn't have what it takes, unfortunately. So I remember that the program was a thing back then. And of course, you know, I wouldn't tell you guys if I was actually in it, because that's how you get into those, you know, secret off the books programs, basically, that deal with like UFO crash retrieval and all these kinds of things. You know, I can't say too much, of course. Were you there when the Templars found the Ark of the Covenant and whisked it off to France? The thing about Orum is he's actually part French. Like, he kind of hails from the French region. So there's some things going on there with him. Too much hair for the Gate program. Yeah, they're like, this guy's never going to pass, man. Like, no one's going to buy this.
Was the revelation that Brian had actually previously reached out to Derek, requesting fitness, coaching, and personally revealed his PED usage.
I need to get shredded, have more energy, and get my brain working better, but I overtrain. Approximately 12 to 14 workouts a week and can't stop. I played around with peptides and would like to explore real GH like Omnitrope and others. I sleep well, eat well. I even have a hard shell hyperbaric oxygen therapy, presumably, cold plunge, sauna, etc. at my house. I need next level, which is why I'm reaching out. Can you reassure me that all information discussed, wish confidential, presumably will be held confidential?
What once was like...
Oh, man. Gosh, man, that's crazy that he went out and kind of exposed that, but at the same time, like, he probably just got so tired of seeing him lie about everything. He's like, I gotta say something, you know.
An assumption was now the truth. The Liver King was lying about his entire online persona. He claimed that his body was achievable through the implementation of his ancestral lifestyle and sold many on the
He's also got the ancestral beard, which, you know, basically he's done nothing to it. But to be honest, I would prefer having a beard that looks this scruffy than the beard from this guy right here. What was this guy's name again? Azule.
They could look like him if they followed his system, but now his system looked like a massive joke, and he had no choice but to confess.
You know, I appreciate him for actually coming clean, though. Like, okay, yeah, it was bad, and he deserves all this, but, you know, getting exposed and everything. But I will say, like, compared to, like, this guy... or this guy, like, I don't think he's as big of a scumbag as, like, these two guys. But yeah, he did lie, and he did sell a bunch of stuff. And he did completely lie to people about the results they were going to get. And that's bad, you know. I do believe in redemption for some people. So at least, you know, he's being honest, like, hey, you know. But actually, you know what? I might be saying this too early. He might be apologizing, but it's like a deflection apology to where he doesn't actually admit to the bad stuff he did. He admits to like some smaller thing or something that really has nothing to do with it. And it's all just untrue anyways. I tried to join the fence program, but couldn't figure out how to get in. I for a second, I thought you meant fencing, like, you know, with swords. These guys are literally professional BSers. Yeah, they are. I guess that, you know, I once had an English teacher who told me, well, she told the whole class, not me specifically, but part of like being a good writer is being a good BSer. And I think she meant that in context of like writing essays for class or something like that, but I hope she didn't mean that for all writing, but she may have. And it's kind of the same for this, you know, like people who can just kind of come up with these stories and characters, people want to watch it, you know. Liver King's apology video is worth watching because it was a masterclass in deflection. Oh my God. Okay, so never mind. So the scumbaggery continued. So he had a chance to come clean and he still chose to lie. That's messed up, man.
Brian's apology seems genuine on the surface. However, he continues to lie about many of the circumstances that led him to this point.
Okay, never mind, man. I think I've just demonstrated here that I fell for it again, man. I need to do better. I need to be able to spot the BS a lot better, man. Sometimes I'm just too positive, I'm too positive and too hopeful. And I just want to see the good in everybody. And then, that's how they get you, because you just want to assume the best, and then you turn your back, and then they just lie to you some more. And gosh, man.
Claims that he never intended to become an internet sensation, and as a result mishandled his online persona. This narrative relies on you not knowing that Brian openly admitted that he was trying to reach 1 million followers in leaked emails before.
Brand goal of 1. Yeah, so I mean, he's running this like a business, and this is really the whole thing right here. God, man, that's sad. That's sad. He should have stopped with this talk of eating raw liver and started a ghost hunting channel. Your heart is just too pure, Shot. Well, thank you, man. I don't know, man. Sometimes I tell myself, like, you know what? Maybe I should just become a liar like everybody else. Maybe that's what it's going to take to really take it to the next level. And I can't really even get any, like, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe I'm a liar too. I think the reason these people are such good liars is because they get to a point where they lie to themselves and they actually believe it. See, that's me trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, I want to give them some excuse, like, oh, they're just such a good liar because they lie to themselves and they're a victim of their own lying, but no, they're just probably bad people, and they actually know that they're lying, and they're just a bunch of liars.
He even started his social media journey. He then goes on to claim that the Liver King persona was a social experiment aimed to inspire others to adopt healthier lifestyles, even if Brian himself was not personally following the same rulebook.
I was doing this for everybody's good. The reason I lied is because I had to lie. Otherwise, nobody would have understood what I was saying, and I needed to get to as many people. It was all strategic. Alpha liars. Yeah, exactly. They're alpha liars. You know what these guys should do, man? They should start a course on how to be a good liar. That might actually be something that, people might gain something from if they pay for it with them. I was just so sad for everybody, and I just had so much empathy that I had to lie, because if I didn't lie, nobody would have heard this amazing message. Feeling lost, weak, and submissive. Man, never mind. I think I'm gonna have to take back all the sort of positives. I was really trying to get through this guy's segment and not come down on him too hard,
He's trying so hard to build a bridge between depressive individuals and his steroid addiction, LMAO. Brian's reputation was completely shattered. Nobody believed Brian's sob stories or deeper motivations, and thus his reputation was completely shattered. He was now nothing more than a complete laughingstock of the internet. While he attempted to return to normalcy following his expose, Brian began to rot as the months went on, both physically and mentally. He notably lost a decent...
Okay, well, no more raw food. Now we got cooked food over here. Man, is that shrimp? I haven't had shrimp in a while, man. Shrimp actually sounds really good right now.
Portion of muscle mass due to temporarily quitting the use of drugs to enhance his physique. But more fascinating was his extreme mental decline, in which he broadcasted for the entire world to see.
Well, one of his pupils is bigger than the other one. Like the dark part. See that? I don't know. Look at that. That's odd. Was he always like that?
People noticed his erratic behavior as he posted countless videos of himself nonsensically rambling.
Break, victory, champion. I like to win in life, or if you'd rather do one of those,
Man, I kind of feel bad for him, because it just sounds like all this just, he kind of got exposed and things went down, and then it just really affected his mental, not just mental health, but psychologically, it actually really broke him, man. I don't know, maybe he had some kind of, like on a very physical level, something really happened to him because it was like so much stress and he felt so bad and he didn't know what to do and he just kept lying for some reason and then the problem kept getting worse and it all just fell in on himself. Now I feel bad for McGinn. Never mind. I don't know. This guy's kind of a tragic story. These guys are like outright liars and horrible people. But man, poor guy. Except for all the lying that he did. That was bad. How do you know they won't just lie in the chorus about being a good liar and you wind up a terrible liar after? Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, then I guess they still would have proved they were a good liar. That's a brain problem. With the pupils? Maybe it is. Yeah, that could be. Like maybe his... it kind of matches like with this incessant rambling. It's maybe like one hemisphere of his brain had like a stroke or like a lesion. And that's kind of like why he's losing coherence like that. That might have something to do with it. That could be a sign of that. Manifestations, the different size pupils. Okay, yeah, wow. You know what? Let me look that up. I mean, not that I'm doubting you, but I just wonder if that has more to do. Different size pupils, sign of brain issue. Where'd my cat go? Mimi might need to be let out. Oh yeah. See, you're right. It says can be a critical immediate sign of a serious, potentially life-threatening brain issue such as a tumor, stroke, aneurysm, or increased intracranial pressure. Like something really bad happened to him. See, I don't even want to make like fun of the guy or anything like that. Like I feel like I don't know, and I feel like that was probably caused. I mean, this is me really trying to reach her. This is just speculation, but maybe that happened to him because when it all went bad and he got exposed for lying, like it was just so much stress, and then like he just ended up getting this brain aneurysm because of that. Man, could also be because of all the steroids he was taking, or that hyperbaric chamber, or a combination of all these things.
It was nice to meet you.
His content evolved into nothing more than an archive of directionless vlogs, filled almost entirely of dead air, only broken up with more incoherent ramblings. Brian had clearly lost his mind, although things would reach a boiling point when he was arrested for making death threats towards one of the largest podcasters on the planet.
Well, yeah, but you can really see it too. Like this eye right here is bigger. So this would be his right pupil. So maybe he had some kind of aneurysm on the left side, his left hemisphere. I'm because usually the brain, it's like the opposite side. And the left side especially is important for speech and things like that. I mean, assuming left hemisphere dominant, which is most people. But the right side could also mess you up too, because that's important for context and things. Gosh, man. What a tragedy. What a tragedy.
You see, Brian has an unnatural obsession with Joe Rogan, which was apparent long before he began showing any signs of mental decline.
I actually vaguely remember Joe Rogan was like one of the first guys that like was like, that guy's not natural. I think Joe Rogan might have actually been the first person. Seriously, the sad part is noticing that everyone is desperate to make money or keep making money. The desperation is real. It is, yeah, it is, man. It is kind of sad. The desperation aspect of it all.
Joe even acknowledged that Brian had frequently made attempts to appear on his podcast, although was never offered an invitation.
One of them came up to me in Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of my security guards stopped
Oh, he changed Joe Rogan's voice a little bit, probably to avoid copyright.
him. He was like, I'm a producer. Came up to me in Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of my
was never offered an invitation.
One of them came up to me in Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of my security guards stopped him. He was like, I'm a producer for the Liver King. I'm like, what the f*** do you produce? What are you producing?
Like, how many UFC events did he try and cozy up?
He was front row at one of my shows in Vegas. Yeah, and then I saw him again at the Canelo fight. He was trying really hard to get on the podcast. And he's been trying really hard to get on now. He contacted a few friends of mine, and some of them that have, like Bert Kreischer, that had him on the show.
Yeah, he told me he's trying to get on.
Yeah, for what? For what? Say that more? Like, come on, this is dumb, man. You ran a con game, and you got busted.
Joe Rogan's disapproval cut Brian deeply. However, those feelings would devolve into full-blown hatred hatred as his mental health declined further. Brian truly hit rock bottom shortly after the release of a Netflix documentary series about his rise and fall. After a break from the internet, Brian returned looking more disheveled than ever before.
Damn, I thought they were going to say he returned and he was like doing better after getting some kind of treatment.
With his face caked in dirt, twigs sticking out of his hair, and multiple wounds on his nose and eyebrow. In this video, he acknowledges 3 entities who he believes are trying to destroy his life. These 3 individuals are likely the documentary's creator, More Plates, More Dates, and
it's almost like some kind of like schizophrenia type thing. It like sounds like he's having like delusions or something.
Rogan. Now he was on a personal vendetta to get revenge on those he believes have wronged him. Brian began openly threatening Joe Rogan, challenging him to a fight and graphically explaining how he would do it.
What I'm hoping is that you, Joe Rogan, are thinking, I'm gonna choke that motherfucker out, lights out, I'm gonna choke him out. And I kind of hope that if you win, that's how it happens. You won't feel me tap. That's never.
Could you imagine like camping in the forest? And you're like, I'm going to go on this camping trip and be out in nature. Get a little fire going. You got your camp set up and it's getting dark. And, you know, you've probably hiked about a good like 4 miles from your car where the last point you can park it at. And then like it's getting dark and you're about to go to sleep. And then suddenly like this guy just walks out of the forest and then sits by your campfire. Like all of a sudden you're just alone in the forest with this guy, you know what I mean? It's just like,
For happening tapping. Shame on you, I'm gonna make you pay. I am gonna actually make you pay. My name's Liberty, man to man. I'm picking a fight with you. I'll come to you.
Oh man. Yo, Raymond, thoughts and mine. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Shah almost died of liver failure in 2021. Watching him makes my liver hurt again. Oh man, I'm sorry. You know what? Here, let me tell you, we got like 2 minutes left of this guy, and then we'll get past it. Thanks again for the super chat, man. That sounds scary, man. I know you've talked about that a few times on your channel. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine. Oh God, I can't believe I forgot that when I suggested about the bar. I'm so sorry, man. God. Well, I'm glad we both don't really drink, so we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun, man. Luke says, living in post-Soviet country, or in a post-Soviet country as a young man, learning to be grateful for what I have has been something that has stayed with me my whole life. That's a blessing, man. That's a blessing in so many ways. It really is. And it's sad that, you know, a lot of people can't understand that, you know, or how that's a good thing and to be grateful for what you have and be able to just save and not torture yourself wanting, you know, the next thing or whatever. Can you imagine how much a front row ticket to a Joe Rogan show costs? You know what's crazy, man? I actually saw Joe Rogan. I took a picture with Joe Rogan in 2013, December of 2013. I know I showed you guys this before. Let me see if I can find it. Joe. Hey, Joe. Jones, damn it. I know I emailed this to myself. Sorry, I'm going to have to show you guys my picture with me and Joe Rogan. Shah. Joe. Damn it. All right, I'm just going to have to pull up the one on my phone, which I know I have. Oh, nice. Let me find it. I'm not lying to you guys when I say I have a picture of me and Joe Rogan. God damn it. It's like one of my earliest photos too. Years. All right, come on. 2013. Here it is. Here's my picture. You know what? I wanted to show it to you on my phone, but I'm going to put this in damn, should I just drop it in the Discord? You know what, the hell with it, man. I'll just put it in the Discord. Ah, crap. Oh, I can't even there we go. Discord. The tavern. There we go. Send. Sorry, guys. I'm like a bit of a... There, now I can pull it up on stream. Don't switch. That was me and Joe Rogan on December 13th, 2023. And this was like, you know, because I was listening to his podcast through college. And this is when he was really he was just starting to get big. Like he wasn't so big that he wouldn't do this. But a ticket to this show was like $50. It was not front row though. But this was at the the Crest Theater in Sacramento, and he would never do the Crest Theater in Sacramento because now if he does a show, he's gonna sell out. Like it's gonna be at a freaking like the Golden One Center or something. And I shook his hand, man, and he had like these. You know, I'm not even a tall guy. I'm 5'9". He's, I don't know, what is he, like 5'7" or something? And I shook his hand. He had these giant hands, bro. And like, he had like, I don't know, this guy is built like a tank. I mean, we all know that. But he was super cool, man. And he signed a dollar bill for me. I got a picture with him. And I gave him a dollar bill and asked him to sign it. And I still have a dollar bill at Joe Rogan's signature from back then in 2016. It was pretty cool. I remember his set and everything. Yeah, I don't know, man. Man, there was me at age 23, dude. And Joe Rogan after a comedy show. I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say, man. I guess when you ask me that, I'm just trying to say that like it probably costs a hell of a lot more money now than it did back then. In all honesty, Liver King's story is a really, really sad one. Guy had millions legitimately before he became Liver King. And look at him now. It's a real tragic story. That's why I feel bad for him, man. It's really sad. You know, like, it's like all in God's hands. Like, you just don't know. You know, like, you don't know who's going to be doing really well and who's going to be doing really bad. Like, I really feel like you can't, I don't know, man. You know, sometimes people's fortunes really change, and it just takes like a day for everything to go bad for somebody. Everything could be great. One day it can't be. And conversely, you know, people can really turn their lives around and things can be really great. Maybe you didn't expect that too. It's just, but yeah, this is unfortunately a very tragic story. I mean, I wonder if he has a family and kids. We don't really hear them mentioned in here. Oh God. Sometimes money or too much success can probably hurt you in some ways, you know? You're describing almost what it is like when you're in the military. Oh gosh. Oh man, a little bit forgetting about what I was saying, but well, that's kind of cool to hear. I was never invested into Liver King's story, but I'm sort of surprised almost no one suspected he was on gear. Yeah, well, I remember when he was big, big, you know, from steroid use, but nobody really did. But he was just probably really convincing. And I think the thing was, bro, is like his gimmick was eating the food raw. You know, so most people are like, eating liver raw. So since like nobody probably really did that, maybe a lot of people, it was easier for people to be fooled that he was natural, because like how many people do you know that like eat raw liver? You know what I mean? So maybe, I don't know, maybe, you know, at least for like some normal casual observer like myself, but anybody else who's probably into fitness, they probably knew, you know. And a lot of the people that were watching him were probably just people that weren't really into fitness, but it was because of this gimmick of eating the raw food that they're like, you know, I'm going to follow this guy, even though I'm like, don't plan on picking up a barbell anytime soon. Something is really wrong with our society. The channel from people with serious issues get attention while the ones with good information are ignored. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you know, I guess people want to see the circus freaks, man, I guess, you know, and I think I could kind of get what you're saying. You're saying like maybe people kind of gravitate towards stuff that's more like that because it reflects something bad within themselves. and it might indicate greater, trends in society or in our culture as well. But people have always been attracted to these kind of circus acts, so to speak, and maybe it's time to clown Max. You know what I mean? That's the key. You got to clown Max, and if you want to be successful on YouTube, like you got to be a good clown, Bro, do not redeem it. This is about, I'm not sure. I think pretty much everyone knew it. He got called out on so many podcasts to his face. Yeah. I mean, definitely people in the fitness industry would have known. Now we have a backstory, just embellish. Yeah, and I was part of the GATE program, and then that's when they had me meet Joe Rogan. And, Joe Rogan, he's part of the elite. He was becoming part of the elite back then, so he got me inducted too. But my mission was to live as an average guy for so long. You know what I mean? He probably got brain parasites from all the raw meat. I mean, that's the problem with this, bro. It's just like, it could have been the raw meat. It could have been the pressure from getting found out. It could have been a lot of things that, I mean, it's just at this point, like all those steroids, all the stuff, the whole concoction of chemicals he was injecting himself with or taking probably did. I mean, who knows? Like, maybe it was that. For some reason, I tend to lean towards it was the pressure of getting caught and not wanting to like own up to it and just watching everything just kind of slip through his fingers. Maybe that just seems more poetic in a way. Wife and a couple sons. Okay, well, that's good. He's got a family. Shah was actually a Joe Rogan roadie. Yeah, exactly. And Joe Rogan taught me all these things, and he actually mentored me. This was before the Russian mafia, but he mentored me for a long time and all that kind of stuff. You were talking about going camping, parking your... Oh, yeah, hiking 4 miles, except you need to change the vehicle gear and mileage. Oh, gosh, yeah. I've been watching a lot of, like, horror stories at night. Like, I like this channel called Mr. Nightmare. And he'll have, like... It'll be, like, 3... horror camping stories, or like 3 night shift horror stories, or 3 Home Alone stories. And I just have these things playing while I'm like trying to fall asleep. And I heard of a camping story on like his channel that was similar to that. And I was like, ooh, that's hella scary. Like it's crazy when the scariest thing in the woods is not like some animal, but actually like other people. You know what I mean? I actually have known women that eat raw liver. She was insane. Yeah, that does sound kind of insane. Like, listen, I get the raw meat thing, I understand, but the thing is, I feel like most of our meat is probably not raised. Like, all right, man, if you track this thing down in the woods and you got your bow and you hunted this thing and it was just eating food out there, and yeah, maybe eating it raw is not the worst thing, but if you're buying this at the grocery store, even if you're buying the organic one or the grass-fed, I would probably not suggest eating that raw, Joe Rogan pulled Shah out of his DMT dreams and into reality. Joe thought that he had discovered an alien. See, I like that. This is helping us with the backstory. Yeah, see, that's what we need to do, guys. We need to come up with the perfect superhero origin backstory for me. And then the channel's going to take off after that. I'll make like a standalone video, and then I'll just tell it to everybody really seriously and confidently, and just be really high energy the whole time, and then tell everybody how I'm going to save everybody and I've solved everybody's problems. And then, we'll have the website ready and they can just kind of sign up and pay $800 a month. Shah's the clown music. My new goal is to end up on Kino Casino. I'm not sure what that is. Let me look that up real quick. Kino Casino. Oh, it's a gaming thing. Okay, it's a channel. Yeah, gambling, I don't know what these guys are, but there's like a big gambling side of YouTube, or people who like that stuff. Clown maxing. Yeah, excessive intake of performed vitamin A can cause central nervous system issues, including increased pressure within the skull. That can lead to headaches, blurred vision. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like, he was taking a chemical concoction. He had all this stress from all this other stuff. He was eating all this raw meat. Eating too much liver can cause vitamin A overdose. Wow. If the meat is really fresh, you can eat it raw. We eat minced pork meat with onions raw on a bread roll, but the meat has to be from a butchery and eaten right away. Yeah, listen, I would trust something like that in a place like I feel like Germany probably has really good like food safety standards. But yeah, I can see that, and that's probably like such a staple of like the cuisine there. You sent some clips. If you don't mind, what platform did you send that on? I can try to pull them up, Raymond. I can try to pull them up. Shah, we watched the same content to fall asleep. I'll send you some. Oh, okay, my bad. You didn't send them yet. Yeah, I'll watch them when you send them. It's just look up images for Metagill. All right, let's check that out. Is this the it's like a German raw? I think you said it was raw pork Metagill. And be amazed and horrified. Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, listen, man, it's probably super healthy, if you're getting it from a good place. I actually had raw beef. And this was in Miami, ironically, one of these business people's houses. And the family was from Lebanon, I believe. I can barely remember. And it was like raw beef and this kind of thing is like a traditional dish, and they had it, and I tried a little bit of it, and let's just say I didn't go crazy over it. I didn't go crazy over it. How about that? All right, let's go ahead and see that. Okay, so after Liver King, we got Mike Israetel. I don't know this guy, but look at that. We already got a court document, so that one's going to be interesting. And then we got Clavicular. He's been making the rounds lately. And then there's Saint the Sinner. So maybe we'll watch all of these, maybe not, but let's see.
Whenever you're ready to go. Because Joe Rogan, we don't have to make videos to pretend anymore. All of this is happening. We're coming to you. I've challenged you man to man to a fight. You can hold the hand of somebody that you love, because what happens next to you, you're gonna
it's so like noticeable, the pupil thing. Like you just know something happened.
to remember that feeling. You're gonna need something more than what you did.
But Brian took it to a whole different level when he revealed that he was traveling to Austin, Texas to find Joe Rogan and literally kill him.
Just pulling up.
Wow.
The capital.
I didn't know it got that bad.
Capital of Texas. Guess what? You're dead. You're dead. You're dead.
Brian began spamming videos to his Instagram feed all throughout the night, leading up to the next.
I mean, to be fair, he does look like he can be like a sniper. He dang near looks like he has a ghillie suit on all the time.
Next morning, when the police arrested him at his hotel after receiving reports of his threats, he was taken to jail but released on a $20,000 bond. Part of his bond conditions were the implementation of a non-contact restraining order, meaning that he could not go near or even speak about Joe Rogan in any capacity. A moment like this should have
he just destroyed everything.
Served as a point of reflection for Brian, realizing that he had gone too far and finally getting the help that he so desperately needs.
It's really sad, man. He does need help. Let's not forget about Ashton Hall. Oh yeah. That was the guy that I think iShowSpeed beat in a race like 3 or 4 times. And then like, he had like those really like well put together videos. And he just looked like he had these like crazy routines and all that.
Unfortunately, that is not the case.
I found an article about his pupils. Man, share it, please.
Brian is still obsessing over Joe Rogan, continuing to challenge him to a fight and even taping large pictures of his face all over his walls. This behavior is not normal and continues to make him look extremely manic and or crazy. The cracks in Brian's facade.
See, look, there it is again. Wow. Yeah, if you want to share that article, if you have it on the Discord. Oh, there it is. Men's Fitness. Let's see real quick. Okay. Sorry, I got to do my whole ad blocker thing. Okay, let's turn ad blocker off. Oh, God. Okay, let me reload the page. Dismiss. God. Okay, yes. No, thank you. I don't want to sign in. All right. The Liver King addresses rumors about his eye after online speculation. Gosh. Okay. All right, let me just see if I can find the answer. I was doing an exercise where I had it mounted on the wall. It was the first time I ever did this on a door handle. I had 2 bands at max tension. The next thing I know, I wake up on the ground, he said. Let's see. Yeah, more dilated. Since then, Johnson seems to have returned home. Okay, so he explained this thing. As he was trying to replay what happened in his head, he could recall the bands coming off the door along the door handle. I guess the band hit me in the eye. I couldn't see out of either eye. I don't know, man. I don't think this is really what happened. Like, I don't think getting hit in the eye would change his pupil like that. I think it has more to do with some type of like brain thing. His vision in one eye remains poor. His doctor told him he would need multiple surgeries. God, I don't know. Okay, maybe it is this if the doctor said that. He credits stem cells, peptides, and hyperbaric therapy for his recovery. I don't know, man. I think there's a little bit more there. Maybe it was this band thing, but that combined with the way he's been acting, I think there's a little bit more that's going on there. Just super odd. Okay, we're almost to Mike Israetel.
When someone with actual credibility decided to challenge him, just like Dr. Mike Israetel, whose
I mean, dang, yeah, this guy looks like he's straight out of a villain straight out of a movie.
Credibility evaporated the moment someone actually read the document that earned him the title doctor, only to find it was full of fabricated claims. What helped Mike stand out from most other influencers in the space was his evidence-based fitness regimen, backed by his PhD in sport.
Dr. Michael Israetel, PhD, is the co-founder and chief content officer of RP Strength, Renaissance Periodization, and the face of our popular Renaissance Periodization YouTube channel. With a doctorate in sport physiology from East Tennessee State University, Dr. Mike is a seasoned expert in the field of fitness and performance. He's also served as a professor at Lehman College, Temple University, and the University of Central Missouri, where he taught a variety of exercise science courses focused on nutrition, strength, and hypertrophy. Okay.
Physiology. Rather than speaking from personal experience and bro science alone, Mike understood at an educated level what it took to achieve your dream physique, and many lifters took his word as gospel. And this sense of credibility seemed to inflate Mike's ego to an extremely high level, with him often bragging about his high IQ and essentially proclaiming to be the smartest fitness coach on the planet.
I've taken the Raven's Advanced Progressive Matrices test, and
The Raven Advanced Progressive Matrices test. Damn. That sounds like something that, doesn't exist or isn't very important.
Pegged at scale high. So you get every single question right. And so my IQ is above 160. We don't know how high.
Man, people who big up themselves like this, something's wrong.
Because they don't do standardized IQ tests above that. I'm both on a raw IQ scale smarter than almost every coach, maybe.
Well, see, my IQ is really high. So since I have a really high IQ, because I was in the GATE program. Okay, guys, we got to add a high IQ but not just high IQ. High IQ that's higher than everybody's because of a test. And this will mesh well with the GATE program as a child and all that kind of stuff.
Every coach. I know more about her than almost every coach.
I know more than almost every coach, maybe.
Both on a raw IQ scale smarter than almost every coach, maybe every coach. I know more about physiology, body responses, etc. than they do in most cases. And so if I don't trust you intellectually and I think I can do a better job doing what you do than you, it becomes a real big problem for me to follow your advice.
With this,
I don't want to throw out the word narcissism out there, but kind of sounds like a little narcissistic. Think you're you're just smarter, you're so high IQ and all that. It doesn't even make sense to eat raw meat from a nutrition standpoint. Cooking makes the food more bioavailable. I can see that. I'm having flashbacks to 2022 right now.
With arrogance, Mike found himself in public feuds with a handful of other prominent fitness influencers, frequently getting into debates and turning to personal insults when things don't go his way.
And also in every category of human behavior, I'm tougher than you. I can train closer to failure than you. I can do it for longer. I have more willpower than you. I'm just better than you, Lyle.
Because Mike
I could beat you up, therefore I'm correct.
Views himself with such high regard, he very rarely filters himself, causing him to say things that make him sound completely unhinged.
I'll read a comment on social media directed at me, I guess, about me. That's from
He does have this kind of calming voice. Like it is almost kind of like calming, and it does sound kind of doctor-ish, I guess you can say.
Nameless, faceless comment on social media directed at me, I guess, about me. That's from nameless, faceless. And I begin to fantasize about what it would be like and how much sublime pleasure I would receive in hurting that person at
Fire
a deep
IQ
physical and
Jughead.
emotional level. Hurting them in such a way that they're never going to walk right again and they're always going to remember me. And
It's like, this is like a super concentrated form of like anger. Like instead of Wes Watson's anger where it just like, ah, you know, it just goes like he just can't control it. This guy's anger is like sublimated to such a like venomous, sharp degree. But like when he lets it out, it's like laser beams. He also reminds me of Bane from Batman.
They dared to cross me.
As well,
right again, and they're always going to remember me and how they dared to cross me.
As well respected as Dr. Mike
That
was,
guy could be a voice actor, man. Like he could be like the villain in a movie.
he was equally divisive, and many felt compelled to take a closer look at his resume. This included Solomon Nelson, who took it upon himself to dissect Mike's PhD dissertation. This paper was the final requirement for Mike to receive his doctorate degree, and reasonably could be considered the culmination of all of
Bane
his
was
efforts
actually
to
cool. Yeah, Bane was cool. Bane was cool. If someone tells me they have an IQ score and are trying to sound smart, I just turn off and don't listen to them. I know lots of people that have things like a PhD and can't even, don't have common sense. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's just like, okay, man, like, I don't want to hear what you're selling at this point.
His doctorate to PhD dissertation. This paper was the final requirement for Mike to receive his doctorate degree.
A dissertation presented to the faculty of the Department of Kinesiology, Leisure, and Sports Sciences, East Tennessee State University.
And reasonably could be considered the culmination of all of his efforts to achieve his PhD. However, Solomon was shocked to find out how poor the thesis was, going as far as claiming that it deserved a failing grade.
I'll argue that, according to standard assessment criteria, Mike's thesis would have failed, or at the very least been sent back for major revisions at any high-ranking university.
This dissertation was riddled with various issues, such as improper data that implied some of the subjects involved in his study were only 4 pounds, and others were as tall as 345 meters, and some weren't even born yet.
1/3 of the lowest performers was either taller than 3.459 meters, taller than any human ever recorded, or shorter than -6.1 centimeters.
Oh, wow. Okay, so his math just was not even making sense to begin with.
As to age, either they were older than 40.4 years of age, or younger than -1.4 years, meaning, once again, that they hadn't yet been born.
The paper was also filled with spelling errors, improper grammar, and general structural issues that...
When you get a PhD, like, isn't there supposed to be like a panel of PhDs that like tears apart your dissertation and you gotta like defend against it and everything like that? Like, what the hell is this?
Made the paper more confusing. However, one of the largest issues with his dissertation was the paper's thesis statement, which sought to prove that athletes with more lean muscle mass performed better than those without it. But it fails to make significant contributions to the field it's related to, which Solomon cites as a crucial component to a passing dissertation.
Mike's thesis falls short of fulfilling one of the most fundamental requirements for doctoral research, a significant contribution of original knowledge. The stated goal of Mike's thesis was to explore interrelationships among fitness variables that he claimed were less clear in the existing literature. However, the core findings, stronger athletes are more muscular and powerful, that more powerful athletes jump higher and sprint faster, and that leaner athletes perform better in these tasks, are not only unsurprising, but also extensively documented in prior research.
Not only has this thesis been thoroughly proven through separate academic research, it seeks to prove something that most people could easily infer on their own. Like, yeah, obviously having more muscle mass makes you more athletic. The fact that Mike could so...
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe this East Tennessee University just isn't a legitimate place, you know? Some kind of for-profit college. I have no idea. I hear you, Reaper, man. It was just full of scammers, really.
Incoherently argue what many understood to be a foregone conclusion, raise questions about his intelligence and authority on the subject of fitness. Now, of course, you don't need a PhD to be a respected figure in the fitness industry, but Mike's whole brand and identity was rooted in his PhD to validate his voice in the community. Not only did the lackluster nature of his dissertation discredit his resume, it also made people question how intelligent he was at all. This guy claimed to be so smart that he essentially broke the scales when testing his IQ, but Dr. Mike can't even spell the word science properly. Now, as
this guy's so smart that like he knows about humans that are taller than any humans that ever existed. and negative ages for people, you know, in some kind of a dark matter world.
As mentioned before, you don't need a PhD to make fitness content. So all he would have had to do
It's
is
kind of like Sadia Khan. Sadia Khan was like the craziest one. Like, I think she said she had like a degree and she didn't.
concede that his dissertation was poorly written, cut his losses, and continue making videos with little repercussions. But rather than putting his ego aside, he went into full-blown damage control.
God, I mean, maybe it's already a crime, but if it's not, they gotta make it a crime, like where you cannot pretend to have any kind of academic qualification if you don't actually have it. He done leered. He done leered him something. Yeah, exactly. He leered him real good.
We now know Solomon was looking at an accidentally uploaded incorrect rough draft. So I'll say this.
This guy talks like he's like wants to be in like some kind of like action movie as like an assassin or something like that.
I don't blame him for going hard on it because he has every reasonable idea to think this was the final draft. It wasn't. We have the final draft now in the link here. And so most of his critiques are just non-starters because the final just doesn't have most of those problems.
The claim that Solomon was reviewing the wrong version of the document may seem like a solid response at first, but that can only justify things like grammatical and spelling issues, something that were still present in the newer version of the document. The dissertation still failed in terms of its thesis statement and its interpretation of the data, meaning that the entire paper would have to be completely rewritten to sufficiently remedy its mistakes. Then Mike tried to claim that the new
Michael Alexandrovich Israel
version of the document.
All right, here we go. So are these the other people? We got Michael H. Stone and Satoshi Mizoguchi. Oh, no, were they co-authors or were these the people that, you know, teared apart his stuff? My Minnesota Sudanese PhD is sports science, and my IQ test bundle that verified I had a 1,000 IQ exactly. It's all over my resume now. Whoever signed his thesis should be arrested. Yeah, this is like a crime against society, right?
It was actually dated March of 2013, when the one Solomon had was August of 2013, meaning that Solomon did have the most recent and final version of the document. Mike could not hide from this any longer and had no choice but to finally admit that Solomon had indeed been critiquing the correct version of the dissertation.
Upon review, the dissertation Solomon examined was indeed the correct document. Okay, so he acknowledges this. Most of the errors were clerical, a misplaced negative sign on a few correlations, and a table pasting misalignment repeated across 3 tables. These are now fixed and will appear in the official archive. For full transparency, the correct copy and the data tables are linked in Milo Wolf's video description. It's a trip taking that much criticism at once, but I've dished out plenty myself. Fair play.
So yes, he is still a doctor, but maybe not the best one. Despite this being an embarrassing...
So he is actually... If somebody still has this guy having a PhD, his brilliant paper made the claims that people that are in better shape are better at sports. Genius. My fictional character, Nikolai Dmitriev Smirnov, is a better work of fiction than this dude. Yeah.
Moment for him, and seeing a slight loss of subscribers on his YouTube channel, he still has a large fan base rooting for him and seeing his advice as valuable.
Okay, so yeah, so this guy, people are still loving this guy.
But this begs the question, why didn't he just tell the truth from the beginning? This is likely due to his immense insecurity. Mike often touts his intellect and credentials in an effort to validate his position to others as well as himself.
That's what I got, man. If people who have this at this point, a neck like this, I'm gonna have to think twice. Like I might not be able to trust you right off the bat. I'm sorry, man.
But now those credentials aren't respected anymore. Mike's insecurities likely played a huge factor in how he chose to respond. But other internet alpha males take their insecurities even further, like Clavicular, the teenage
Okay, this is the guy that, I mean, well, hell, his career is having a meteoric rise right now. If he's really doing drugs, Ben, he needs to stop, man. It's not gonna help.
Gym bro who literally does meth to maintain his appearance.
Okay, well,
most internet alphas tend to focus on the importance of financial enrichment and physical prowess. But let's be honest, the reason why young men want to improve themselves a lot of the times is to get girls. 19-year-old Braden Peters, aka Clavicular, has leaned into this particular aspect of self-improvement, promoting what many refer to as looks-maxing. Looks-maxing aims to improve one's appearance to its ultimate potential. This can involve very harmless acts like getting a good...
Look at this, man. This is some clownish stuff right here, man. This is some clownish stuff.
haircut and having a skincare routine or dressing well. However, individuals like Clavicular take it to a much more extreme level. He promotes a plethora of different methods to improve your looks that are extremely dangerous, such as bone smashing.
I've been bone smashing for about 2 years, and I have gotten improvements. I used to have flat zygotes pretty much, but bone smash for about 2 years from this point, pretty much every day consistently, and now I'm got some tissue.
As insane as doing something like this is, it pales in comparison to the other advice he gives, like the usage of literal meth to keep his face slim.
I was essentially doing meth for hollow cheeks, guys. I just to come clean and let you know what I was doing.
And this is only one of the many various...
He was doing meth for hollow cheeks. What if he's just lying about that? Like, come on, man. Tell me this guy started doing meth and then he just stopped doing meth and everything's cool now, you know?
Substances he uses to maximize his appearance, such as minoxidil for hair growth, Accutane for clear skin, and of course, testosterone injections for extra gains in the gym. Substances that will likely cause immense problems for him later in the future.
People are asking, are you going to be infertile? Do you worry about having children?
So right now, I am infertile.
But he does this.
That's crazy.
For one simple reason. Clavicular believes that your appearance is everything, and that the more attractive you are, the better your life will be. He takes this mentality so
I mean, hell, I don't know if I can disagree with them. Seems like things are going okay for him, but still, like, if you're going to continue on that, I mean, it's probably going to be a crash out like some of these other people here.
Far that he views getting a $35,000 jaw surgery as an investment that will...
Oh my gosh, bro. This is like the man BBL right here. Oh my God.
Pay itself off.
I'm really just talking about a purely logical return on investment. I see myself, I'm like, well, what am I? My face, I am a social media influencer, right? So if I spend this amount.
Taking T means you stop producing it. I mean, that makes sense, like intuitively, but it's like, is it really gonna, like, is that really working as like a male birth control for this guy? You know what I mean? So it's like, is he really infertile to the point where like it may as well be male birth control? I don't know. I spent a few years on meth. Hollow cheeks was one result. Hollow everything. Such a bad idea. Insane. Worse. It worked. That's the crazy part, is that like it worked. I mean, now he's in Miami. You know, Aiden Ross is like mentoring him. He's in one of these stream house mansions now. I mean, he was on Michael Knowles' show. I mean, here we go. You know what I mean? So. Welcome to Clown World, I guess. So, you know, hell, fair play to him, I guess.
Amount of money on a double jaw surgery, right?
He's gonna have to pay for all that, though. If you're gonna be doing all this crazy stuff, man, like the bill is gonna come.
It's gonna cost me about 30 grand to do the surgery. Will this pay itself off if all goes well? And I'm saying overwhelmingly yes.
Through his
God, it's crazy. I know that it's brand to do these kind of nutty things, but it's like, dude, you don't need the jaw surgery, man. You gotta relax.
His personal coaching program, he sells young, insecure men on the hope that they can one day surpass their genetic limits, which he refers to as ascending.
The ascension method.
Course includes things like a full facial analysis, a full-blown gym routine.
We use AI to do a facial analysis.
And a list of different supplements to help improve your image. The only problem is this does not sound like an effective way to remedy someone's insecurities. In fact, these things have only the potential to make them worse. Clavicular uses his own ascension.
I feel like the future is going to be like really like strange looking. Like every like second person you see is going to have some kind of plastic surgery going on. And you're just going to have to accept that. Like it's just going to be all these like fake lips on women, and guys are going to have like these fake jaws and all kinds of like just weird stuff going on. And you know, oh my God, it's going to be a different place, man. Things like that always come back to bite you in the nether side. Yeah, I think we're probably gonna, you know, not that we want anything to happen to this guy, but it's like, we're probably gonna see where this story arc goes, you know.
As a testimonial that his system of looks maxing truly works, although many have taken note of the fact that most of his physical improvements are simply the byproduct of growing up.
That could be it. Like maybe he was just supposed to...
Before. It really just looks like 2 years of puberty. bro grew up. The reality
Isn't he only like 19 or 20 or something?
Is that Clavicular is completely delusional, but in an ironic sense, he is undoubtedly the most honest person in this entire video, as he is extremely aware of the negative ramifications of his usage.
Wait, why are you infertile right now?
Just like a negative feedback loop when you're not needing to produce testosterone anymore because your body realizes, okay, we're getting it from an exogenous
So you're not producing
source.
any testosterone naturally?
No.
None?
No. That's
I'm
how
not
it
taking
works.
TRT, bro.
How do you think it works? You just don't, your body realizes we're at a certain level we don't need anymore, so it stops producing it.
I mean, I don't know. Like, does anybody know what the TRT's doing for him? That's really amazing. Like, why would a guy that young even need to take it in the first place or want to? Oh my God. It's already like that in some places, but in my opinion, the future will involve cholera in the water and rat skewers. Dude, that was beautiful, man. Thank you. That, you know what? You're probably right. If this keeps going on, that's going to be the future. Reaper, that's hilarious, man. Can you imagine what anthropologists would say if they were digging up corpses of these people in the future, trying to figure out what the hell is going on? Yeah, I mean, I think the first clue for them is going to be the teeth. The teeth, I feel like, is one thing that you can't hide, you know, and with all the plastic surgery and stuff like that, like they're going to be like, man, like there are a lot of dental caries here and all this kind of stuff. So they'll at least probably be able to see something was off, but all the other things they find too, they'll be like, oh, why is there these metal? All these jaws have like this little extra piece on it for some reason, assuming it's metal that I don't know what the hell they'd put in there. Man, people just make these life-altering permanent decisions like it's nothing. I don't know how people do that, man, but you know, more power. I don't know if they need any more power, but so be it. Or you're on meth. Gosh. The same they do today, assume some religious cult. Could be something like that. Imagine when they start finding people with their legs sewn on backwards. What the heck? That sounds kind of crazy. They will have to add a new size to orchidometers just for this guy. What is an orchidometer? That's new to me.
The reason why he is on this journey is because he believes that he is genetically disadvantaged and has only made himself ascend to a slightly above average appearance.
These people, these looks max creators, we're all genetically gifted. They don't really understand, you know, how it is to grow up not exactly good looking. People are placing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, oh man, this is crazy.
Me high tier normie as a little bit above average, between a 6 to a 6.5 on an actual decile scale that makes sense.
According to Clavicular himself, both of his parents are bodybuilders, and he began taking testosterone at only 14 years old to achieve a larger physique. So it's likely that from a
maybe this guy will become like president of the United States someday.
Young age, he derived self-worth from physical appearance and has developed extremely severe body and facial dysmorphia as a result.
I was on a little bit of everything, to be honest, growing up. Test at 14.
How do you even get testosterone at 14?
God, I don't know, man. You know, it's okay to not be perfect. I think we need to start the you don't have to be perfect movement. Like maybe that's something positive we can do for society. We'll call us the anti-perfectionist club. Anti-social, anti-perfectionist club or something. Anti-perfectionist, perfectionist club. That's what we'll be. It's for amputees. Orchidometer is used for measuring testicle size. They sort of look like anal beads. Okay. It's a real surgery. I see. Wow. I don't get the looks maxing. I'm average, have always been average, and will probably always be average, and I'm totally fine with that. Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's okay. Like, you might even get more, you know, contentedness with your life accepting that, you know what I mean? Instead of, like, I don't know. I guess if you look like this, like, one pimple or one bad day can, like, you know, would be just horrible. The highs and lows must be crazy for this guy, is all I'm saying.
I just ordered it on the internet.
He has even directly acknowledged that he is
Ordered
actively
what?
shortening his lifespan.
I just ordered it on the internet. Growing up, test at 14.
How do you even get testosterone at 14?
I just ordered it on the internet.
He has even directly acknowledged that he is actively shortening his lifespan for the sake of looks.
It is very likely that some of my lifespan will be diminished with the things that I'm doing. I don't believe that's from some of the steroids, but maybe some of the recreational drugs in conjunction with the steroids.
At least he's not lying about it. I mean, they're right about that. He's an honest guy, man. Shout out for honesty. Shout out for honesty here.
So that's a very real possibility.
Unless he's lying about everything.
Sad as this is, it does not absolve him from personal responsibility. His program currently has over 1.4 thousand active members, each paying $50 a month to take part. This coaching program has grown exponentially in recent weeks, most notably because of a viral clip of him injecting fat-dissolving peptides into his 17-year-old girlfriend's.
That's super. Did it say 17-year-old girlfriend? That's super weird. Like the women, like the buccal fat removing thing, that's so odd.
Face on stream. Other clips show him casually picking up girls and even criticizing their facial flaws while meeting them.
Oh yeah, so you have like a recessed maxilla, so I can't. And, like your upper jaw, it's just a little recessed, so I can't. I mean, you know what I mean?
Why are you looking at me? I don't know what that means.
I'm trying to
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like a developmental flaw. It's no worries.
Clips like these only feed into the persona that Clavicular is trying to create, where he is an unstoppable and irresistible specimen who has achieved his power through looks maxing. And it's working, because his audience nor his customers see him as deeply insecure. And he continues to take advantage of his impressionable audience, much like Marquette Burton, who has created an entire red pill cult that is surprisingly working. On the
I've seen some of his stuff. I don't think he did an interview with Rollo once, and I thought it was actually an interesting interview. And he held Rollo's feet to the fire a bit.
Surface, Marquette, aka the Saint and the Sinner, seems like just another run.
This is the guy that when Adam 22 was on the whatever podcast, they got into like some spat, and then Adam 22 left the show after being on the show for like 10 minutes or something.
The mill internet alpha male. He sells courses, portrays himself as a business genius, and bashes women on
He's certainly another one of these alpha male gurus, though.
Podcasts.
Would you feel comfortable if your father was watching your OnlyFans and subscribing to it?
Yeah, this is the one. And then he ended up leaving.
You would not feel comfortable, and I'll tell you why. That's because in your heart of hearts and your soul, if you still got one, you know it's wrong. And I'll give you an example. That's your work. In my work, if my mother consumed my work, I'd be thankful and pleased that she took an interest in my work and supported my work. If she bought my products, I'd be thankful. If your mother or father bought your products, you'd be disgusted and ashamed because you know what you're doing is wrong and the product of what you're doing is bad.
Of course, he also has the tendency to fabricate every aspect of his life, lying about being a multimillionaire thanks to his background in application development. Although when you take a look at his resume, it's clear that he is not nearly as wealthy as he claims to be. In 2012, he launched his first company, Hobby Buddy, a social media platform that connected local strangers to help plan in-person activities. Hobby Buddy's website remained dormant for over 6 years, promoting the eventual release of a mobile app that would never see the light of day.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, God, that's kind of like some of these people up here. They're like, I got 16 businesses, but they're just things that they have a website for and nothing ever happened.
His next business venture was called the Fletch app, a mobile application that gave universities the power to track student attendance. Marquette hoped to sell licenses to colleges in need of the service, although this effort failed, and the application has been defunct for over 5 years. He later shifted his focus to Why Not, a mobile application that was essentially a Craigslist for Wi-Fi hotspots. Despite Why Not's failure, Marquette landed himself an article in Forbes for his work on the application, which in reality is just a puff piece paid for by Marquette himself. His last major endeavor was an app called My Key, which was basically just a glorified geotag that never went anywhere. Now, I'm not coming at Marquette for failing. It is extremely difficult to start a successful business, and if anything, his persistence is admirable. But Marquette pretends that these failed businesses were actually huge successes, and claims they helped him become a self-made millionaire with a...
See, that's where the problem comes in when people are lying about results.
A net worth of $100 million, but it's very obvious that he is nowhere near that kind of wealth. In 2020, Marquette was featured in an article discussing his involvement in the C program, which offered aspiring entrepreneurs a $50,000 investment to relocate to Erie, Pennsylvania. Despite claiming to be massively successful, Marquette was willing to move states just to keep his business afloat. Once again, I respect the hustle, but it's hard to imagine a multi-millionaire would move to Erie, Pennsylvania to do something like this.
That seems to be the key, man. Just embellish, embellish, embellish.
It's also hard to imagine that someone of this status would spend their time arguing with women on podcasts, selling self-improvement courses, and streaming multiple times a week to a small audience. Marquette goes to extreme lengths to portray himself as much more than just a glorified red pill live streamer, going as far as creating a fake BBC documentary about himself.
I would say I don't think he's actually a red pill guy, but you know, a lot of these people looking outside in see anybody, you know, in male spaces and we'll call him red pill.
The Kenyans literally rolled out the red carpet for Mr. Burton's arrival. He is an enigmatic
It's just like walking into a hotel.
figure, a businessman and a boxer, an author, a stoic, and a poet.
He originally had this YouTube video titled as BBC coverage or BBC Emerging World Leaders Profile, and then they made him change the title because obviously it's not a BBC thing.
Just about every internet alpha male portrays themselves as high-status individuals.
That's just the sad part, man, is all the lying.
Imparting their wisdom on their lowly followers. But Marquette has created a full-blown cult. The Sassin follows an ideology called Marquetteism, which is essentially a religion based around men.
Yeah, see, that's different from red pill stuff.
Men being alphas and women being second-class citizens. Nearly every element of the Sassin follows classic cult structure.
At a meal, tradition starts with this question: what is one thing you are thankful for? Always greet fellow saints warmly, especially new saints. End gatherings with for the good of the Sassin. Close lectures and workouts with the creed of the Sassin. The two ideals: saint is my primary identity, superseding all other identities, race, ethnicity, nationality.
It starts with rituals and traditions, mandatory greetings, group chants, and repeated creeds, all of which exist to reinforce belonging and suppress individuality. The two ideals
Number 1, saint is my primary identity, superseding all other identities, race, ethnicity, nationality. The nuclear family. A household consists of a single male leader, typically a husband under Sassin law. There may be no more than one husband, one who is born a male, along with any number of wives born female, all of whom are aware of one another and consent to one another's existence.
Make the group identity your primary identity, explicitly replacing race, nationality, and even standard family structure with loyalty to the organization. This ideology also lays out different levels of existence: confirmed saints, good people, and the wicked, all of which ties into the cult's fundamental rule system, what Marquette calls the 3-sentence Bible.
Number 1, be yourself. Number 2, be good to yourself. Number 3, be good to good people.
From there, it establishes a strict hierarchy where one man sits at the top and everyone else, especially women, is assigned to a rigid, subservient role. The rules for women read less.
Rules for women in relationship. Make the bed first thing in the morning. Your lady is unable to make the bed if you are still in it. As a man, you should rise up with purpose and begin your day in earnest. Number 2, no reckless eyeballing. Attention should be focused on your man. Number 3, do not discuss sex or sexual topics with anyone. Number 4, do not discuss the relationship with anyone. Do not interrupt peace. Consider timing. Do not bring up negative conversations when your man is happy or in a state of peace. There is a difference between sharing your perspective and adding weight to man's experience through complaint or nagging. 6, food. Ensure your man is fed every 4 hours. Prepare a hot breakfast daily. Carry healthy snacks. Bring your man's food and set it before him. When his meal is completed, take away his food. Number 7, roll grocery shopping, wash dishes. Males never do a woman's laundry. Respect your man's money. Be thankful. Say thank you. Have faith.
like relationship guidance and more like obedience training. Don't speak while thinking. Don't interrupt peace. Cook every 4 hours. Manage his food. Manage his house. Manage his schedule, but never question him. And most importantly, the system positions the outside world as the wicked, while members become saints, creating an us versus them. And
Number 3 is good people. Okay, well, so outsiders could be good people or wicked, and then if you're members, you're a saint. Then there's confirmed
world
saints.
as the wicked, while members become saints, creating an us versus them mentality that isolates followers, making the group the only place where they feel understood, valued, or morally superior. And of course, there's a direct correlation with moving up in the ranks and how much money you give to Marquette, whether it be through his business coaching courses or ticket sales for in real life events.
Oh gosh. If you're part of this cult, do you call yourself Ansassin? People might get confused and think you delete people. Like, yeah, it's funny. I was kind of thinking about like the video game Assassin's Creed. Don't speak while thinking.
Also find it hilarious that
one single woman ticket, 193. One woman in relationship, 264. One man, $602.
Single woman is only required to pay $200 and a single man has to pay 3 times as much at $600, because it's hard to see why any single woman would enter a room full of people that believe in Marquettism. Yet despite the insanely high price of these tickets, Marquette manages to convince a surprising amount of people that they're
there you go, it's working,
well worth it. And watching them all
guys, we really need to get the origin story figured out.
Speak in a circle gives strong cult vibes.
For the good of the assassin.
For the good of assassin.
For the good of the assassin. For the good of the assassin.
For the good of the assassin.
For the good of the assassin.
For the good of the assassin.
For the good of the assassin.
For the good of the assassin.
For the good of the assassin.
Typically when internet alpha males sell courses online, they do it solely for the chance to make some easy cash. But Marquette seems to be attracted to something much more sinister, power and control. He is driven by his own self-obsession and desire to be worshipped.
Man, that is a little... that's a bit much.
With the potential income only being part of his true motives. He's trying to sell people on a worldview that ties back to himself and his excellence. A lot of what Marquette is doing seems to be taken out of the playbook of Andrew Tate. And a few years ago, I made this experimental video where I compared him to a cult leader. It's pretty different than what I normally...
Okay, my gosh. All right, well, we made it to the end of that. That was crazy. Guess we can read some of these comments. Let's see. That was a good video. Bro naming dictators to justify his height is top tier comedy. No shirt and a lit cigar are always a dead giveaway. The first guy's life story is the crap you hear 5 years old tell their friends. I went to China to learn Kung Fu and I beat up 40 guys. He can't possibly think anyone believes him. I have an active role in 16 businesses that generate billions in sales. I shop at Amazon, Walmart, Kroger, Costco. That first kid story is straight out of the Steven Seagal Book of Lies. How do people hear this and actually believe it, not just burst out laughing? I think those guys are like semi-bullies, you know? So like people just kind of feel the bullying and they want to, I don't know, it's like this weird kind of respecting the bullying thing, or they're just afraid to. Just super weird. All these fights and no scars. I got in a fight with the fish a tenth of my size in Florida and ended up with 20 stitches. That was pretty funny. No cauliflower ear. The only guy who had a cauliflower ear was that PhD guy. No scars, no visible battle damage. Yeah, I used to fight 30v1 and got smashed with a baton in the face. But that's just because he beat them so much. You know, he won, man. He won. It's one thing for teenage boys to be sucked into the alpha sphere, but when it's your 45-year-old friend, it's pretty sad. I've never heard an actual intelligent person brag about how smart they are. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know. And that is humbling. Man, well, we could rewatch. Well, we haven't rewatched, but I can rewatch this, or we can look at. Oh, what the hell? Oh, yeah, that's what we were. Or we can do this. The only thing is this one's really long. I don't know if you guys are all just alpha mailed out right now. Let me put up a poll. maybe we've done too much with alpha males for one evening, you know. And we're almost at about 3 hours. Let's see, should we watch let's see, more alpha male stuff? Okay, Andrew Tate interview, and then I'll put it's long. And then we can do the too lazy to try, which is the shorter one. Shorter. There we go. And I'll add option. Please, brother, no more alpha stuff for tonight. No more alpha stuff. All right, there's the poll. Okay, let's relax for a bit. Oh my God. It works. All these people are in the same race. You know, I'm almost see the TradCon con men cosplaying in their makeshift cigar and whiskey lounge. Like they're the same animal. That's interesting. They are. Well, you know what it is it's just different. It's like different factions of people co-opting these symbols that they think are masculine and then trying to like sneak in whatever the hell they're selling, you know? And then just kind of shame and guilt men into buying whatever they're selling and saying that, hey, well, can't you recognize my masculinity? And since I'm so masculine, all of this must be right. All right, let's do Too Lazy to Try. Let's do that one. It'll be a little shorter too, and that's probably better for me just because, you know, we're hitting 3 hours, and I don't want to keep the stream going on too long. Let's do that one. I enjoy these streams. I appreciate that. You know, it makes me feel pretty good, oikophobic. Thanks for saying that. You know, but yeah, good point, Luke. It really is kind of a similar thing in some ways. I would say the TradCons are like a little bit more well put together. You know, but in some ways it's just a grander version of these like smaller petri dishes over here that kind of have their own thing going on. I'm good with whatever. Perfect. Steven Seagal is a real piece of work. From what I've heard, he's constantly trying to portray a tough guy image, and he actually hurts people in an effort to do so. Man, really? That's unfortunate. I always thought Steven Seagal was a chill guy, man. I mean, I've only seen some of his movies over the years, but sounds like he's a little extra, huh? Too Lazy to Try is hilarious. Lottery Groot. Shah is crazy. How everyone in the red pill are all fighting with each other now. I know, man. It's hilarious. Look, like I've been on Twitter, and all I've done is save clips of this whole thing because it's so ridiculously stupid. And like, part of me is like, I kind of want to like react to some of this stuff, but it's so stupid and crazy that like, I actually don't want to. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. See if I could find some of these. It is really funny though. I'll tell you that. To be honest, I think it's kind of good that like Sneeko and Andrew are having this fallout. And the reason I say that is because I remember like Sneeko before all this stuff, he had like a million subscribers and a good channel. And when he like wanted to be with Andrew Tate in the War Room so badly, I was a little disappointed in him because I always felt like Sneeko was his own man and he had his own stuff going on. And I just felt like he didn't need any of that. And then I remember when he went to go meet Andrew Tate was kind of looking at him sideways. And then, you know, he lost his channel and all that. And at the same time, it's like, I feel like in some poetic way, Sneeko kind of serves this purpose of like sort of calling out all the BS surrounding the Andrew Tate stuff and at least showing that like a lot of this is hot air and maybe it's time to kind of abandon some of this stuff. Like, you know, I think when it's like such a weird thing, you know, there's just so many symbols jammed into whatever the hell they're doing that it kind of doesn't, there's just a lot going on that it's just, I don't even know if you could write this stuff. It's just like a Simpsons episode. It's too much, you know. Oh God. I just feel like these clips are also so bad. I mean, someone would have that Heil Hitler song in it, and it's just like, this ain't gonna work. That's kind of why I wanted to react to the interview, was because he's in there and he's just like, you're getting Hollywood contracts and this and that. And I'm like, well, this guy's like so full of himself. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like when I see like an Andrew Tate tweet now, it just feels like a bunch of hot. I mean, it felt like that for a long time. And you guys know that if you've been following me. But when you're A-list famous, genuinely famous, not a silly nobody streamer, A-list famous, it's like, God, how many times you got to say that? Then you help the world in a different way to a nobody internet clown chasing clicks. Like, isn't that what everybody did here? Like all these folks? Your job is to point people in the right direction and let momentum do the rest. Okay, yeah, because you don't want to be out there actually fighting the good fight. If you are an extremist, they will kill you. But if you hint and allow people to work out the rest themselves, you can actually help win the entire... Like, I don't know. All this just feels like a bunch of nebulous hogwash. But if you hint and allow people to work out the rest themselves, you can actually help win the entire war. Like, I don't know what the hell all of this is. It's just this real... There's just all this crap, dude. I don't know. Like, dude, what do you want me to... Gosh, let's see if there's anything else. Oh, react. When you're in the war and it's just so funny. We all saw Sneeko put on the song. Ah, the hell with it. Let's do the too lazy to try one. The interview, you know, I want to do the interview, man, but it'll just be really long. But it's, you know, the comments on this are hilarious. They don't understand the things I say on Twitter. I'm Somalian and close my daycare to watch this. I'm Jewish and I shut down my nightclub to watch this. Oh, God. Yeah. Let's just watch this. I think this gives a pretty good summary of it.
A Miami Beach nightclub catching heat, accused of celebrating hate with a song about Hitler. Controversial influencers are also in a video from a limo. In that one, they're singing, and one of them is performing a Nazi salute.
Like, it's just... It is kind of like entirely cringe.
The mayor has this message.
It's disgusting, it's shameful, and you are not welcome in Miami Beach.
I'm not here to make excuses for myself. I'm not here to say it wasn't me. I'm not here to, you know, blame someone else. But it is kind of ridiculous. It does feel a bit unfair that I'm standing in a nightclub. A song comes on that I did not request. A song comes on that I do not dance to. I do not repeat the lyrics to. I just stand there. And then they want...
Just like some perpetual victimhood, man, over here.
Want to attribute somehow the song playing to me and it all being my fault. I totally understand some people are offended by it. I get it. So I'm sorry to anybody who is offended. I'm sorry to anybody who's offended.
I don't want an apology. Nobody. I don't even think you should
I don't think
apologize.
this is a I don't think this is a podcast to bring you on to apologize.
To be honest, like all the people at this table got a little bit of like, you know, slimy insurance salesman going on for them. So it's just like, one thing I know about this, because I saw a clip and the other guy, Adam Sosnick, says that, you know, the night it happened, he was talking to Tristan Tate till like 3 a.m. And when I kind of saw like the clips from this interview, it felt like it was kind of scripted, or they were trying to, I don't know, they had some plan for this, but it just did not come off how they expected it to come off. And I think that's why everybody was like, what the hell are they talking about in this specific interview too? And I believe that because it's like, if Adam Sosnick is talking to Tristan Tate till 3 a.m., I mean, what the hell are they talking about till 3 a.m.? Obviously, you know, oh, Andrew's going to be on the podcast tomorrow and we're going to talk about this and we're going to say this and we're going to say that. Like that's probably what was going on. That's just my speculation. These jackasses made national news. What an L for the red pill. I can't stand these clowns. Dude, I know. I hear you. It's sad. It's sad as hell. It's just, and it's cringe as hell too, more so. It's really more cringe and it's just like disappointing and in some ways demoralizing. Oh God, it's for just men in general. This is who you know, this guy has said he is the top men's rights advocate in the world. And that's the sad part, is when things like that get swept in with these guys, you know. Exactly. These guys are as authentic as a $33 bill.
All right, so Andrew Tate is in trouble once again. This guy just always finds himself in the middle of controversy, and you know, his whole career now is him just trying to do damage control. I mean, he's even apologizing now, so he must be really freaking out over the recent backlash, because this is making him look really pathetic.
And it's just odd too, like, okay, whatever the hell they were saying or doing, that's one thing, but like, so much of his brand is based off of like not being afraid to offend people and saying all these things, and you know, oh, why is everybody just being such a, you know, P word and just so sensitive and can't handle that? But then suddenly it's just like, all of a sudden it's just like, oh, I wasn't associated with this.
Here, like, he's doing whatever he can to distance himself from this live stream he is part of with Sneeko, Nick Fuentes, Myron
Oh man.
Gaines, and this Looks Maxer character, where they're playing Kanye's song High.
Oh my God.
Hitler in a van on the way to the club. And then also they got the DJ at the club to play it, which Tate seemed to be fine with. But of course, now that he's getting a ton of backlash, he's doing whatever he can to walk it back and apologize and try to play the victim. Like, somehow Tate is the victim in every situation. Like, all he does now is just go around on podcasts.
I couldn't imagine being a grown man apologizing over a song I listened to at a club. I also couldn't imagine being a grown man mad over a song played in a club. This is the most childish story I've ever seen. Yeah, and I think that's fair. It's just all so stupid and ridiculous, but that's what makes it more hilarious. I still think he's controlled opposition. His takes and shenanigans are always used to discredit. It makes more sense. Yeah, I hear you. Like, he's a very convenient boogeyman in that way. Only the champions in the photo.
Crying about how he can't catch a break and he's always being taken advantage of. Like, every appearance he makes on PBD, they have to do PR for him. They spent the first 40 minutes talking about this.
See, that's what I mean. Like, if it's like scripted PR, you know, I'm sure they were on the phone till 3 a.m. the prior night. Well, we're going to get on the podcast and we're going to say this and say that. And Adam Sosnick is trying to toss him the ball and he's trying to toss it back. And it just comes off as like super fake and just weird. And people are watching like, what the hell are these guys talking about? You know, Shah, I really think Myron asked for that song that he played to be played, and Sneeko had to be the scapegoat. There's all this speculation. I mean, they were saying that, or it might have been Fresh who put it on, or something like that. Yeah, I don't know who did it. I mean, from what I've seen, I don't think it was Sneeko. But the song was played twice, once in the club and then once in the car. And I maybe one of the times it was him. I don't know what the hell's going on. What's even funnier about this is like Sneeko's supposed to go on Piers Morgan on Monday. I did catch that to talk about this. So it's like, it's just so funny. It's just hilarious. Like, it's crazy. It's hilarious and cringe and just everything all at the same time.
Like, they're his parents and they need to make sure he learns from his mistake. Well, also
Andrew folded like a cheap suit.
Put the blame on everyone else and throw them under the bus and vindicate Tate.
Yeah, here's Tristan. Everybody on the bus saw Sneeko take the phone from Justin Waller's hand, turn off the country music, and put on HH. And it's like, spell the damn name of the song out. Like, you know what I mean? You can, like, if anybody's going to, isn't it supposed to be these guys? I normally wouldn't tell on him, quote unquote, but it was live streamed to 50,000 people in HD. Putting people with far more to lose in compromising situations for clicks isn't a cool thing to do. If he were under 1% of the gunfire Andrew and I were, I wouldn't have done that to him. Andrew apologizing for a song in a club seems very lame for him. Yeah, and it's like, I don't know how he's surprised by any of this. It's like, dude, you chose to go hang out with Nick Fuentes, who, like, you know, is pretty straightforward about being, you know, a racist and whatever the hell and all the other things that come along with that. And it's like, you go, you hang out with him. He even said that he actually likes Nick Fuentes' content. Like, some of his content is stuff that he actually watches or is entertained by. I think that was before this bus incident, but you know, he's into it. Like, at least he finds him entertaining. So he's like, oh, I'll go meet Nick Fuentes. It's like, dude, for such a like chess player genius, like, I don't know. And then suddenly it's because of the song, but it's like, I don't know, everybody's there anyways. Like, you kind of had to know what you're associating yourself with. let's be real. It was probably Nick who made the joke, and Sneeko then went and took it seriously, is what I think. Yeah, everybody was just doing too much. Myron and Nick just doubled down, which I respect. I mean, yeah, if they're honest about it, about how they feel, I get that. Yeah, this is just completely out of character for these guys. Mr. Kevin says, I wonder how much of the apology is due to any pending or possible issues he had. I mean, that's probably what it is. Like, the Andrew Tate people know and remember is probably the pre-father Andrew Tate. And now he's like, is a dad with kids. So maybe his outlook on things changed. I also think, to be honest, like, I don't know. I was kind of looking at some of his stuff because I don't follow him, but every now and then when I'm on Twitter, like some of the big posts, there's two feeds. There's one of people you're following and one of it just shows what's kind of trending. And I would see his stuff and I feel like it doesn't get the numbers it used to get. Like they kind of fell out of relevance. And I think they probably figured they were going to hang out. Like, this clavicular guy is the new hot thing. Nick Fuentes is pretty big. I mean, objectively speaking. And I think what was going to happen is like, okay, they're all going to hang out with each other and it would probably be a good engagement business trip for all these folks. I mean, they got engagement, but, they just ended up kind of, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to stuff like this, you can't have your cake or eat it too. You got to you can't be like with it when you're over here and then be against it when you're over here. Like, if this is your thing, then that's your thing, but you got to stand on your square with whatever the hell you're selling, I
mean, you could sense the desperation here. And it's funny, they seem more worried about this than Tate being an alleged human trafficker. I mean, there are parts of this where it felt like an intervention, and all the comments are like, what is going on here? And Tate's simps are
saying Tristan is done with them after seeing him dance to a song is a lie. Yeah, that was the thing. He was dancing to the song. I can't believe I just watched the big bad Andrew Tate fold like
kind
this.
Of pissed at PBD because they felt like this was an ambush and Tate was put on the spot.
I don't know if it was an ambush. Maybe it was an ambush, but I really believe that they probably all concocted up this kind of script together. Sosnick is talking to Tristan Tate till 3 a.m. the prior night. And that's why it just probably felt so inorganic. Because when I was listening to part, I was like, what the hell is this? Like, I was listening to some clips and I was like, why does this just sound so weird? Like,
and they made him look bad because it did kind of feel like a humiliation ritual, but they also are just trying to help him do PR. Like, the first thing Tate did when he started getting backlash was call PBD's co-host, Adam Sosnick, who's Jewish. And Adam spent all day helping them come up with a plan on how to handle this. And he even called the mayor of Miami to defend Tate.
Nobody online or in the Jewish community defends you more online or behind the scenes than me.
And the thing, I remember is like, I remember Patrick Bet David, I believe, went to Romania and he interviewed Tate during all the stuff. And I remember he gifted him a Bible and all this kind of stuff. So, I mean, they got some kind of relationship going on, but I don't know. There's a whole lot of it. Nobody defended me like I defended you. And, we're part of the cool club.
I had dinner with Tristan and Justin Wall the other day. I got the call. It's Sunday. You ruined my day. At the very least, you ruined my Sunday.
Well,
with my nephew.
I woke up. I was like, what the
feel
fuck?
you. And I get a call from not one person, not everybody.
Yep.
Your brother, you're texting me, Justin Waller, the club owners, the DJ. The reason I came to the house, he was my first text. I said, Waller, what's going on? So he sends me the video. Tristan could be James Bond.
Yeah.
He's a little stressed out. He's like, bro, I want to come to Miami. I don't want this in my life. I know you know people. Like, respectfully, like, hook a brother up. I go, I got you. I'm on the phone with the mayor of Miami Beach. What do I tell you? Hey, sir, I'll call you right back. 1 minute. He's saying, dude, I don't know this song.
Yeah.
I'm a country guy. And I see you walk out of the van, and I'm like, all right, well, the song was on for 10 seconds.
So Tristan and Andrew were freaking out about this, and they all went running to Adam, who's just insufferable. This guy's the worst. People can't stand him. Most of the
Adam fatigue is so real.
On PBD shows are just trashing him. But I guess he's got a lot of connections, and he always goes to bat for Tate for some reason. It's funny. He's always complaining about anti-Semitism, but always...
I feel like Adam did more talking than the guest. You might as well name the show after him. Adam is like a wife that pretends the argument is over, then continues to bring it up.
Defends Andrew and Tristan Tate, who of course now are like, well, we had nothing to do with that. I can't believe.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people were like, well, you know, they felt like Adam was grilling him, but I think the plan was for Adam to kind of take this role. And then, you know, Andrew, people are like, why are they letting this Adam guy talk to him like that? Like, where the hell's the Andrew that they all know? And it just, everybody just looked worse. These guys see themselves as brands. They're merging. I don't believe half the stuff said about most of these guys, and I'm not sure half of that isn't just lies they've had intentionally spread about themselves. It's a racket. It's for sure a racket. And when it comes to like people like Andrew Tate or Tristan, it's like they're really dependent on getting like the young people viewers and market. And it's like I've seen this over and over, you know, like they need a new replenishment of young men as older guys maybe start to age out from watching their content. And I first noticed this like because he would collab with like Aiden Ross when Aiden Ross was coming up. And I knew why he was doing that. My opinion was because Aiden Ross has this audience of the perfect age demographic that Andrew Tate wants so he can segue them into Hustlers University or wherever the hell it happens to be. That very young, impressionable boys, basically. And then the other one was Neon. And I always felt like Neon's come up was a bit staged too. Because Aiden Ross, I believe, invited Neon into some panel and Andrew Tate's there. And it's like, why the hell is Andrew Tate talking to all these kids? But okay. And then this Neon guy just starts like cussing at Andrew Tate and all this stuff. And then like the next day, there's a video of like these two, you know, guys beating up Neon in the park because he was talking bad about Andrew Tate. And I always felt like that was just a bunch of staged garbage and they like broke his glasses. And then Andrew Tate offered to like to teach Neon and to help him be a man and all these kinds of things. And it was all for... It's all to appeal to this, you know, younger age demographic or whatever. And now this Clavicular guy is coming up. And Clavicular has the spotlight in the eyes of all these young guys, young impressionable guys. So now here's Andrew Tate to come work with this guy and then hopefully, you know, get this new young blood over to whatever the hell his racket is. How are the Tates any real difference than the Lily Phillips? It is almost like they got to keep one-upping the outrage to stay relevant. Yeah, that's true. You know, it's their version of a 1,000 PPs. You know what I mean?
I believe they would play that song. I don't even know about that song, but when it first came out, Tate posted a video of him driving around listening to it.
Oh yeah, I saw this. Yeah, I mean, he knows the song. I mean, he posted him getting in his car, and the car was playing, you know, Kanye's song.
And
there.
last year he said we should bring the Nazi salute back.
You know, I'm kind of thinking we should bring the Nazi salute back. Because the people we've been...
This was probably around when Elon Musk did the quote-unquote Roman salute and it, you know, made its rounds.
...arguing with for the last 4 years have no interest in objective truth.
So it's hilarious now seeing Tate be like, we were really uncomfortable with that song being played and everybody's behavior. That was too far. Like all of a sudden now they have this high moral standard, which obviously they're just pretending they do because they're trying to save their own ass. But it's just insulting to people's intelligence. Like PBD talks about how uncomfortable Tristan and Andrew looked during the stream, but Tristan was literally singing.
Yeah, he's jamming out to it. Myron is just being, you know, it's just so over the top, edgy, just kind of cringe.
The lyrics and looked like he was having a great time.
And by I mean definitely.
I mean, they definitely didn't seem to care at all until they got backlash. Also, if they had a problem with it, why not tell them not to?
And you know, this guy right here is nuclear. Like, he has a history for like anybody he's worked with just kind of, you know, being tanked like right after, immediately after. And it quite literally happened again. You know what I mean? And this time it's happening to Andrew Tate.
Play it or turn it off or just leave. Like, these are supposed to be the big bad alpha males that are always in control of their environment. But now
I can't believe
we're expected to believe that they were like peer pressured and too scared to say anything. Like, these people are so pathetic.
When I watched the video, Andrew, with you and them, Tristan looks extremely uncomfortable. Yeah. Okay? And
man, this guy's really the slimy insurance salesman.
The way you were smiling, because I saw a lot of, everyone's texting me. You know, you and I communicate, we have conversations together. You looked extremely uncomfortable as well. You're smiling, but you're not. You know.
See, this is the stuff that they were talking about till 3 a.m. You know, they're like, okay, but this is how we're gonna explain it. So I want you to come at him with that, and then let Andrew just sort of describe this, you know, to figure this out. Super weird. It's like, why would they care about damage control at this point, you know? Very good point. Looks like they have no substance and have to escalate constantly. All dudes, not a woman in sight. That was actually the first funny thing, because before the club thing, I saw some clips where it was like they were in somebody's house and they had some women over. Who knows? Maybe they paid them to be there, and they're just like, we're just ignoring the women. It was just, I gotta find it. I'm definitely mischaracterizing that, but I remember laughing at that and saving it because I thought it was like funny. I wonder if Tate realizes that he probably would have ended in one of these camps. This is so incredibly stupid. He should take history more serious. Yeah, I know. I mean, it is like, it's not cool to joke about that stuff. That's where questions of like free speech and when is too much too much? You know, when is it bad? You know what I mean? So, you know, everybody wants to be this like idealist free speech warrior, and then when it gets too real, then suddenly it's like, that's not what we meant. You're just taking it wrong, you know? But then it's like, okay, well then, you know, be smart about that free speech thing. Pyramid Ben David. Oh gosh. Yeah, I think there was some kind of story with him and like some MLM scheme.
What's going to happen? It was almost a look where I said, Tate knows what's about to happen next.
Yeah, the shock value really isn't worth it to me. I mean, I've said some shocking things.
The shock value isn't worth it to me. Literally, I mean, that was his whole social media career.
People will believe my brand is built on shock value, but I think they're at least shocking opinions.
It is.
I like to think that I'm sitting there saying, this is my brand is built on shock value, but I think they're at least shocking opinions. I like to think that I'm sitting there saying, this is my opinion. You may find it shocking, but this is what I truly believe.
So I guess Tate truly believes we should bring back the Nazi salute, since he doesn't say anything for shock value. I mean, it's so funny seeing these guys try to bullshit everyone. Like, another move Tate always does is he'll be like, listen, I don't make excuses. I don't want to blame anybody else, but I could if I wanted to. Then makes a bunch of excuses and blames everybody else. So it looks like the plan him and the PBD crew came up with, because they obviously came up with the plan. Yeah, he's right about that. Blames everybody else. So it looks like the plan him and the PBD crew came up with, because they obviously talked about this beforehand, was to convince everybody that the Tates were really uncomfortable and it was all Sneako's fault.
They were up till 3 a.m. coming up with this plan.
Played the song, and he's the one that should really be blamed here. So they try to throw him under the bus, which again is so embarrassing because these people claim to be all about loyalty and camaraderie. But then as soon as shit hits the fan, Tate's like, it wasn't me. It was all his fault. I had nothing to do with it.
I'm not here to make excuses for myself.
Yo, welcome in, Don DeMarco. Glad you enjoyed the fights, man.
I'm not here to say,
like, it wasn't me. It was all his fault. I had nothing to do with it.
I'm not here to make excuses for myself. I'm not here to say it wasn't me. I'm not here to, you know, blame someone else. Maybe I should. Maybe most people in my position would say, Sneako's insulted me a whole bunch of times. I didn't even want him there. He got invited by the other guys. He put the song on. He got me in trouble. Perhaps I should sit here and just blame some other dude. And he came along and he made a fucking mess. And I could sit here and blame it all on him. But that's truthfully not, I don't know. That just feels wrong to me. I'm not going to sit here and say who else it was. I'm just going to say I didn't do it. I'm just going to say that I didn't play the song.
Man, yeah, see, listen, man. I mean, at the end of the day, you got all these kind of manly men coming together, and they're all about loyalty and brotherhood and being real and based and all that. Regardless about what the hell they got in trouble for, okay, everybody has opinions on that. But the fact is you had this group of guys, and the minute some pressure came on them, they turned on each other and they, you know, it basically collapsed, which is like that's the most embarrassing part about it, you know? It's like, if you're going to be those kids on the schoolyard that did some stuff and then one person starts snitching, or, you know, as soon as the principal comes and all of a sudden it's like, it just goes against whatever they sold themselves as and stood for, you know?
I find the song funny. I didn't think it was appropriate to do.
But I think Sneako played the song.
Yeah.
I think Tristan explicitly
think, or, you know, or like what the hell happened, you know?
Told me that Sneako played the song.
On everything.
So Tristan told him Sneako played the song. Okay. See, it's so stupid. Let me blame another guy and pretend I'm not blaming the other dude. I just need to look good. Yeah. Andrew T is saying he cleaned his room and ate his lion diet.
Ridiculous. And I think in that sense too, Andrew,
That's Nico played the song.
on everything, and it's ridiculous. And I think in that sense too, Andrew, they use you, which I know you're upset. You have to be.
They're
They
like,
use
you're the victim, Andrew. You're the victim.
you to play that song to be like, look who's with us. And you're right.
I don't think it was this long old plan. Like when it comes to that, they probably just played it. Like maybe Myron, yeah, probably somebody, whoever the hell it was just like, oh, let's be edgy. And then they played it, and then they all, decided to get into it together. They all dipped their hands in the blood a little bit. You know what I mean? They're all in this together. And that's what it was. If there was ever any doubt about the end of the red pill. And listen, I get it. The purists are going to be like, it's a praxeology. It's never going to die. I get that. But I think when Sneeko said it was the death of the red pill, he's talking about like these content creators, and this whole kind of thing. But, there'll be new ones, and it'll probably take on a different form or something like that. But yeah, when it comes to whatever the heck this arc was, it ain't looking too good.
I saw you. You walked right out, and even in the nightclub, you were kind of like, whatever, but I would be even.
I saw him, teacher, and he was like, this is bad the whole time. And he walked right out, and he didn't want to have anything to do with it, so he shouldn't be in trouble, teacher. It was Sneeko's fault. It was the other people's fault. I saw him do it. He didn't. It was Sneeko who threw the dodgeball at her. It wasn't Andrew, and when Andrew saw it, he like immediately went away. It's just like
even more livid because coming from a guy that has a Jewish father, brings you in, plays the Hitler song, and then you're the only guy that's going to catch real flack for it.
Yeah, I think.
And I don't know what the hell Vinny's talking about.
I don't get it either. Like, isn't it all of them now catch flack? Like, I mean, that's the whole thing. They're basically trying to say like he's on like this higher level than any of the others. But I actually don't think so. I mean, if anything, him and Sneeko are pretty evenly matched as far as like social media stuff goes at this point. And I feel like Andrew's kind of been on the come down with his tweets don't really get as many engagement lately. I don't think so. Yeah, it's all rather juvenile, very much so. I think every single one of us have done stupid stuff. Why can't they just, why can't they just say, yeah, we were dumb. We were just being idiots. End of line. Yeah, that's exactly it. He could say that too. Like, yeah, it was stupid. I feel bad about it. But instead, it's like, man, I had nothing to do with this. And it was Sneeko's fault, and all that.
Everybody involved is getting a lot of shit for this.
What Andrew Tate's supposed to do, he's supposed to say, so what? Get over it. It's just a song. And because that's what would match his persona, at least what everybody knows, Andrew. I'm like, really? You're going to get upset about this? What's next? But instead it's like, but my opinion is different from, whatever. It's like, okay, but I don't know. He just didn't stand on his square. It just didn't match the alpha personality,
I think Sneeko is banned from like every club and restaurant in Miami. And I don't think their plan was to set Tate up and play the song so he'd get in trouble either. But of course,
I don't think so either.
Of course, everyone always acts like Tate just can't catch a break. He's always getting taken advantage of and being victimized. I don't know how he's the top alpha male, but then also at the same time, everybody's infantilizing him constantly. So PBD and his crew are just so
the sycophants are crazy.
Desperate to help Tate save face for some reason. Maybe because they're worried it could reflect badly on them too. Like the mayor of Miami is not fucking around with this shit. Like earlier that day, they literally sent law enforcement to a lady's house who made a Facebook post making fun of him for being a Zionist. Of course, the free speech warriors aren't talking about that at all.
The Miami Beach mayor's office is now flagging citizens' Facebook posts and sending police to their doors to intimidate them for criticism of the mayor.
But that's pretty wild. Then also, I guess he personally called Sneeko and told him if he doesn't apologize, he's not welcome in Miami. So that's probably why Tate apologized.
The mayor called me up today and he said,
imagine getting a call from like the mayor of a city saying you're not welcome here.
You want to be welcome in Miami again. You don't want to go be in the cold New York all the time. You got to apologize. He said you need to apologize if you want to still enjoy Miami, if you want to be welcome in Miami. You think this is easy? How many people you think are going to be able to take this heat? Obviously not. Top G couldn't. But I thought we're supposed to escape the Matrix. Because I know I didn't do anything wrong.
And yeah, that's what I saw. I saw like a bunch of memes and they're basically like showing Andrew Tate next to Cypher Basically, like Andrew Tate isn't Morpheus anymore. He's now become Cypher.
Nico, Nick Fuentes, that Looks Maxer guy, and Myron all double down. Like, Nick went off on the mayor, and Myron, of course, acted like a lunatic. This dude is unreal. And it's funny, because Tate is like, I'm uncomfortable with the anti-Semitic behavior, but him and Myron are best friends.
Well, yeah, and then it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to go hang out with Nick Fuentes. It's like, you knew what that was. And he mentioned that I saw that, you know, like I heard a clip of that where I think it was on stream. It was on stream prior to the club or something, and he was telling him, like, you know, that he actually likes his content or whatever.
This was Myron's response to the backlash.
This is just like stupid right here. I don't know. This is kind of cringe, man. Like, what the hell is this? It's like, I don't know. This is like a bit try hard. I think it's just a bit try hard.
And the Jew mayor of the city puts out a statement, hey, my ancestors died in the Holocaust. That's not funny. You're glorifying Hitler. Dude, shut the fuck up. Fuck you. Fuck your tiny hat. Fuck Israel. Shut the fuck up, bitch. This is America. We have a First Amendment. Shut up. The song doesn't care about your feelings.
So you tell PB.
Gosh, yeah. God, see, and the thing is he's just doing whatever the hell he always does. He doesn't need to change anything at this point. Because that's his whole brand, and everybody expects that from him. For some reason, I think, you know, Andrew and Tristan are just trying to come back to the flock, so to speak. And I don't know, maybe they're just trying to. Andrew keeps insinuating that, like, he knows Trump, or that Trump helped him get his passport or something like that. And I think he's just trying to really get in the good graces of Trump and whatever the current administration is, and somehow find a role in that.
He and his crew definitely want Tate.
Basically, you know, selling out for whatever the hell he was before. Man, these guys are all clowns. I don't care about them. Honestly, I like normal people. Normal people are the best people. Absolutely, man. That's true. And this just further helps reiterate that. If you ask me, Myron is still funny. I mean, listen, those guys are all successful streamers or whatever, but when I saw that clip of that, it's like with the dancing around, it's not even about the like it being offensive or whatever. It just comes off kind of cringe. It's like, it's just a little extra. It's like, dude, all right, man, you know. Andrew really started to fall off after losing his fight. Yeah,
to cut these people off. That's why Vinny was acting like Tate was set up and betrayed by them. And also PBD was trying to tell him that he needs to stop putting himself in positions like that.
I think it's before the fight, though, because like his engagement on Twitter just hasn't been as great lately. Then he did the fight. I think the fight was to try to turn things around. Then he ended up losing it. I don't know if he expected to. And that was just bad. And then now this happens, so it's just extra bad. If anything, like him losing the fight and already kind of like losing some of his steam, and then going here and being with these guys, it's like that kind of set the ground for this to become such a big deal anyways, because people are already looking at him kind of sideways now. If he was the Andrew Tate we remember and he went to this would probably be like a non-issue. Might even be like good for him.
And Adam called his crew the Nazi Avengers. But Tate still defended Myron. He also did his podcast after all the backlash, and he said they're still friends. And he said he doesn't think anybody in that crew is anti-Semitic. So he had to walk a fine line during this interview because he wants to distance himself from all the controversy, but also he doesn't want to throw all his friends under the bus like the PBD crew wants him to.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Andrew Tate, you know, he's a father now. He's trying to get past these cases. I think he's just really looking for an off-ramp from a lot of this stuff in some ways, but then at the same time, he's still trying to like maintain whatever the hell his aura is, and he's got famous for some very specific reasons, you know what I mean? So it's like he wants to find an off-ramp, but at the same, like, you can't have your cake and eat it too in this situation.
And it's funny because Tate is like
if you want to find an off-ramp from all this stuff, then you got to probably disassociate from some of these guys. I had no idea why Andrew did that fight. To me, it came off as a last-ditch attempt to get fame. Yeah, it felt like I think he felt like his engagement was going down. He's like, I got to do something to kind of bring this stuff back up. So a fight seemed like a good way to do it, and a little payday also. But yeah, I mean, you know, it didn't turn out good for him. PBD Crew is the Miami Daily Wire 2.0. That's a good way to describe it.
Like, listen, they're a bunch of kids. They don't know what they're doing. They're just trying to get attention, even though they're all in their 20s. And
they just feel like they're just trying to manufacture a narrative, and like everybody can pick up on
Myron's like 40. And also at the same time, Tate is like, this is a group of grown men. They made their own decisions, and I had nothing to do with it.
But when you show up to a club with the Nazi Avengers, Nick Fuentes, Myron Gaines, Sneeko, you're going to get looped into this. And
yeah, that's actually a fair point. I mean, I think they're trying to come out ahead of that, but that's really the main thing. It's like, you know,
whose head's going to roll first?
Well,
not some cloud kid nobody's heard of. Andrew Tate. You're the leader.
But if I'm totally honest with you, I don't think that any of them are deeply anti-Semitic genuinely, and I don't think that any of them really thought it through. Honestly, I think they're just kids. I think they're just kids. It gets a reaction. They think they're funny. They're on the internet. They need.
You know, this is Andrew Tate little broing Sneeko, and that was what he did in the beginning. I think he always kind of saw him that way. And I always thought it was weird because, I don't know, I was just like, I don't think Sneeko ever needed this guy because he made good content without him, and people liked him, and he had a big following. But I think, you know, I guess Sneeko was on that journey because he was probably in his mid-20s and thinking about what it means to be a man. And there's this new phenomena of Andrew Tate. So there's just probably something in him where it's like he felt challenged to go over there. And it was just, you know, Andrew Tate was kryptonite. It's just like the whole crazy thing about it. It's like Andrew Tate was the kryptonite for Sneeko, and Sneeko got demonetized while he was over there in Romania. Probably for some other reasons. I don't know if it was because of Andrew Tate. He did do some stupid stuff online. And then now it's like, you know, Sneeko finally got his channel and his monetization back. And it's just like, in some ways, it's almost like now he's kryptonite for Andrew or whatever. Well, I guess really it's Nick Fuentes, but, you know, whoever the hell played the song. Got to be smart enough to stay away from Sneeko. Nothing good comes from hanging around with him. And any agitating the J community should be easy enough to sidestep, not hard moves to make. Yeah, I mean, and you know, Nick Fuentes especially, you know what he's famous for. I don't know, like I get it. Like his whole brand is supposed to be about like he could talk about whatever, and the hard stuff that you can't say, he's supposed to be the one to say it. So people are just like, people can just kind of see that he's maybe not so much the same guy. I don't know what the hell it is, man. It's just, I just feel like he's looking for an off ramp. I mean, he's got kids now. His whole mindset's probably different, but you can't have your cake and eat it too with this. I can't say that I disagree. And I do like to listen to some of the things that PBD discusses. I refuse some of their takes as dumb af though. I think the whole antiseptic accusations is just overused. Yeah. In some ways I can see that, Dan. You know what I could see that. I mean, you know, people are in some ways looking for any reason to get these guys, but their whole brand is about trolling all this stuff. You know, their whole brand is about being able to go there and then still being here and surviving and being impervious to it. It's just it really what it is he broke frame this time. And as soon as he broke frame, kind of spurred on by this interview, everybody was like, what the hell? And they all just dogpiled them. So it's really not anybody else in the crew's fault. It's his fault for breaking frame first. So him and Tristan tried to get ahead of this, and they didn't stand on their square. They didn't stand with the group that they had willingly associated with and become a part of. And then as soon as like people smelled weakness, they jumped on him. That's what it is, you know? Clav is the only kid, and even then he's 20. Yeah, exactly.
The reaction, they want likes, and they did some fucking dumb shit. Full-grown men made decisions while I sat on my phone. I then got off the bus and stood in a nightclub while other people played songs while I sat on my phone. If they want to crucify me for that, that's up to them.
So we aren't going to do the Suno remix of the H8 song, right? Yeah, probably not. Well, I mean, you can. Depends what you change the lyrics with, you know. I'm trying to think. How would we make that dowry related? Interesting enough, him breaking frame, it only strengthens your theme of spin plates long enough and the bull gores you from behind. Yeah, I mean, that's what it was, man. I mean, he was out here trying to be the matador with these guys, and he finally stepped in a pile of it. You know, it's a hit to the brand. It's a huge hit to the brand. So the demographic that he's going after kind of are like, who the hell is this guy? Like, you know, he was almost like the old sort of fart of the group, I guess you can say.
Myron made the Nazi salute because he thought it was funny. That's Myron to come here and defend.
Of course.
It's not for me to sit here and come here and defend. Myron is someone I know and I respect and I like. Even if he did something that offended me, even if I found that offensive, I would still say, oh, okay, well, I like Myron. The question is, could I have stopped it? Well, no, because I didn't even know they were doing it. What I could do is when they put it on the car is leave the car.
I think you could have stopped it. I think you could have stopped it.
How?
I think you could easily stopped it.
How?
First of all,
play the clip of when it comes on the car and I leave the car. What else am I supposed to do?
Let me tell you what I'll tell you what I would do. For instance, you guys go out.
People also didn't like this because they felt like, you know, PBD and Adam Sosnick are pretty much, you know, talking down to Andrew, which is like their favorite alpha male character, and Andrew was kind of taking the beating and the verbal lashing. So, you know, even the way this interview went didn't help, aside from the song thing. Myron, yeah, I always thought it was kind of funny how he said that.
Do you think if you invite me, I'm coming out?
If I invite you, will you come out?
Do you think if you guys go to a nightclub and the two of you guys invite me, am I coming out?
You, probably not.
Why?
I mean, he seems like a normal, I mean, well, he's got a family and kids, and I don't think he's going to be out here going to the club.
Why would I not come out?
Because I guess you don't enjoy going to nightclub.
So behind the scenes, these guys are all probably telling Tate he needs to cut these people off.
Oh, man. You know, and this was kind of like I think as soon as they put this photo out, everybody just started dogpiling them from there. And I can't help but think it's because it was a photo taken with horrendous lighting. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like the worst lighting you can have. It's just like flat and just everybody that you usually see like in studio lighting just looks really drab and average here. So it just came off really bad.
And are like, can you please behave yourself? Like, Tate is always getting caught up in shit. Like, last time he came to America, he did PBD's podcast. Then just a week after, his girlfriend filed a lawsuit against him and accused him of...
Didn't he get... I thought he got, like, they put out a warrant for him in Miami the last time he came around. I think it was for Florida in general. This is a good point of PBD's about, yeah, him not stopping it. Well, yeah, or just not going to this thing.
Assaulting her, which of course PBD's crew doesn't seem to care much about that at all. You know, it's so funny, out of all the terrible shit Tate's done and has been accused of, this is where PBD draws the line, and this is what Tate has to apologize for. It's crazy. But let me know what you guys think about it all down in the comments, and I've been covering a lot of stuff over on Patreon.
Yeah, what an odd thing. It's just super odd. Klaus says we'll look at the comments too. Let me just catch up with chat here. That's the problem with Alpha the World. You have 1 week moment and your image is damaged. But yeah, you got to keep up the circus act, man. That's what people like you for. But that's what they try to sell to normal guys. Yeah, exactly. It's unsustainable. And it kind of matches the pattern of all those other, you know, alphas that we were seeing in that prior video. So, you know, eventually, you know, there's a bit of a crash. This is a good point, PBD. Some guys skipped leg day for sure. About not going at all. Yeah, definitely. Hand me my huge dowry. It's my right. Yeah, if you can turn that song to be about the dowry, I mean, I think we can play it. It's about, you know, being the villain because you're the one who has to ask for it. Yeah, so let's see the comments though real quick. 3 hours, 30 minutes. That podcast looks like they're trying to cosplay as GTA characters. That Adam guy from PBD is the caricature of a Miami cokehead. Wow, PBD's new set looks like the inside of a blackjack dealer's butthole. I love how Andrew Tate says he won't blame someone else and then blamed it all on Sneeko. PBD looks like he'll sell you a fake Rolex at double the price and tell you it's a good deal just for you, my friend. Tate looks like Earthworm Jim in cop sunglasses. Tate has 2 brain cells that fight for third place. The way Andrew talks really bothers me. This looks Maxer character. The irony is Hitler would have hated these guys. A rich guy is defending an alleged human trafficker. Everything seems to line up there. Is Sneeko still pretending to be a devout Muslim? Tate promptly threw Sneeko directly under the bus, LOL. Every girl at that venue covered their drinks when they all walked in. Oh my gosh. Getting banned from Miami of all places is hilarious. Oh God. Yeah. God, you know, that almost makes me want to go to this one. Let's just scroll over whatever the hell these are. Let's just see that.
We're good?
Yeah, okay, note some of the language is censored. Okay, you know what? How do I pull up the... I want to pull up the... Oh, maybe it's in the description. Here we go. How Nick Fuentes has suffered for views. Andrew Tate might be more famous than any other celebrity. See, like, I don't...
99.9% of people have. Like, honestly, I get more attention on the street and I'm more well-known than nearly every single movie star. It's the Grammys now. You get the list of everyone at the Grammys. Brad Pitt, George Clooney, cool. The rest of them, I don't know who the fuck they are. I don't know who these celebrities are. They say, hey, this celebrity said this, or this celebrity's dating this person. I don't know who these people are. There are too many movies. There are too many Netflix shows. Everyone's in a fucking movie. No one even knows. None of the...
I don't know. Comparing to movie stars, it's a little outdated because it's really about streamers now. Like, I Show Speed, like, you see, like, the crowds around him and stuff in those clips. I don't think Andrew Tate is as famous as someone like... He's very famous. I get it. But, like, someone like I Show Speed, I think, has more, like, star power.
These people even matter. Why are they in movies and I'm not? Because they shut the fuck up. Why am I not the face of a fragrance?
Well, they're probably also, like, trained and really good actors. Like, if you're Brad Pitt and someone, you know, George Clooney, these people are... They actually have a craft that they practice. Like, you don't just become an actor because you're famous, but good actors can become famous for being good actors. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to sit here and be like, why am I not in Hollywood? Well, I mean, I don't know. Did you go to theater class? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell are you talking about? Maybe you're just not a good actor, you know? Sometimes they put well-known people in for cameos or something like that, but they're not good actors. That's a good point. It wasn't making fun of women and minorities that pissed off PBD. It was making fun of, yeah. I mean, I hear you.
Or a close.
But like, yeah, but PBD and all those guys are already well in on this because, you know, when Tate got, you know, when his stuff was first going down, and I think PBD took the whole free speech angle or tried to give an interview. Maybe he was just looking for engagement back then when he actually like went there and interviewed him. I think around when Tucker Carlson did.
Clothing brand. Am I not the face of a fragrance or a clothing brand? I'm the right demographic. All the young boys love me. There'll be billions of generated dollars. Why? Because I won't shut the fuck up. So I'm turning away billions of dollars, and some dipshit's going to sit there going, you sold out, bro. It's like, you know, the sad thing about it, truthfully, Jack, when that happens, you start to understand why everyone sells out. You start to sit there and go, what the fuck am I fighting for? Why am I trying to help these clowns? I show them the beginning. I was the one who woke the world up only 2 years ago. It was me. I went to jail for it. I suffered for it. Me, alone, by myself. I did it.
I don't know. You know, I'm sure, you know, you can give him some credit. Like, he definitely did, you know, in a lot of things, but it wasn't just him. It was also people like Donald Trump. Donald Trump probably, you can say, even started that wave in some ways. As far as kind of saying things that were out there that other people couldn't for a bit. And then, you know, someone like Andrew has to take it to the next level with that kind of stuff. But that wave and stuff, I think, started to turn with people like Donald Trump, you know, playing this character of coming in from the outside. Yeah, this other podcast gets all conspiracy theory focused at one point. Not saying it isn't plausible, but at some point it's a big, yeah, grandiose is a good way to describe it. It does come off very grandiose. I mean, just the screenshot right here, you know, it's a little extra. You know what I mean? Didn't Andrew scam his own audience with this crypto coin? I mean, well, he was certainly scamming the webcam, you know, back then. I mean, I don't know about the coin stuff. Possible. Me. Yeah, very much so.
And now they're saying, you showed me the beginning, but not the end because you're a traitor.
You can't show the end.
I can't show the end. Not that I don't know the end. I can't show the end. I know so much more than I can say. But if I say
I just know so much, but I can't say it. You know what I mean? Because it's just you guys aren't ready to know, or I can't.
We're going to lose because unless I keep showing
I'm really fighting for the good fight for all of you guys, but I can't say. You guys just have to trust the process. You just have to keep trusting the process.
The beginning, the war's over, and they're going to put a bullet in me. So it makes me sit and calculate all the money I've turned down, all the beautiful red carpet events, all the pussy I could have fucked, all the fun I could have had. Could have been on fucking Jeff Bezos's fucking yacht. Could have done all these things. I've done none of it because I wanted to point people in the right direction.
I did everything for the good of the people. I didn't do this for any selfish reasons, for my own and for trying to come up. And, you know, a lot about it, you know, I would say his come up was about how he's just so smart and a genius and, you know, other people are just lazy or don't want to do it or whatever the hell. And now it's just all from this. It all came from this heroism, and I'm doing it to free everybody from the shackles of the Matrix. I don't know. You know, maybe I'm coming down too hard on the guy, but a lot of it just sounds like hot air, you know?
What thanks do I get? What thanks do I get when I finally fly to America after a year and I meet up with a couple guys and they play a silly song, and instead of saying, yeah, gas all the Jews, I sit and say, look, I understand why the song's...
See, like that, and to be fair, no, I'm not sitting here, you know, listening to Nick Fuentes or whatever the hell, or even Sneeko for that matter, but I don't, has any of them said that? You know what I mean? Or is he kind of like, you know, embellishing a bit? It's an honest question because it sounds a bit straw man-y. It's always the same hubris.
Offended some people. I didn't play it. I didn't actually play the song. Don't you think everyone panicking?
I didn't, but all my associates did. You know, my associates were there.
About this song just proves the Jews have power. You're a sellout. It makes you think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sell out. You know what would teach the world a lesson, Jack? If I sold out.
Fine, then I just won't be here. See, I mean, I think he is really looking for the off-ramp. Like, it would be nice to abandon all this and be able to have some nice brand deals. You know what I mean? It would be nice if he can work with, like, some big business elite. Basically, like, if he can be like Cypher and work with these people that actually have money from decent businesses and try to get some brand deals. I think that's what Tate wants for his future. You know what I mean? He wants to sell, like he mentioned, the fragrance and this and that, and then he just wants to be quiet and let the money come in. But now he's got to do image control.
Tomorrow, I took a $500 million check and went and made Hollywood movies and just deleted Twitter and then let all these poor people watch my movies.
This guy really thinks he'd make like an excellent Hollywood actor. I mean, for $500 million, come on. You know what I mean?
And pay me more money while having their opinions on me. And I can wear Versace. I can fuck hoes and spray shampoo. I'll show you sellout. Continue, world. And I'll show you sellout. I was the first and original.
Like, this sounds like how he talks to, like, you know, like when someone that like is very like manipulative, like with their spouse or significant other, it kind of sounds like a sort of like, what the hell do you call that? Like, just like a lot of emotional manipulation in a relationship. And, you know, he's going to do that with the world. And fine, see what happens, guys. I'm just going to disappear and that's it. Okay. Thanks for driving the Bugatti. Dr. Andrew Tate, PhD, sounds like he took notes from Dr. Mike. Yeah, Israel. I think Sneeko and Nick never said, yeah. Never. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know if they ever said stuff like that. I don't think Sneeko has. I don't know about Nick Fuentes. At least I've never heard him, but I don't sit there and watch his streams, and maybe he did. You know what I mean? But I don't think Sneeko did, which is really who he's primarily blaming. Same hairstyle too. Yeah. Abusive Yeah. I mean, it's just that same pattern of talking.
Freedom fighter. I'm thinking these stupid dipshits.
Like, this guy's a freedom fighter. It's like anybody else in the world that does stuff that like is whatever. It's like Andrew Tate has to say like, well, I'm doing those things too.
Nobody streamers who aren't A-list famous, who no one gives a fuck about them.
Are they really nobody streamers? I don't know. Like they seem to be more successful streamers than a lot of people in him. I mean, just objectively numbers wise, you know, Sneako's a pretty big YouTube channel. And so are, you know, the other guys
who just sit on a stream and run their mouths and have to be controversial to even get any views.
That's literally what he did.
Thinking they are moving the needle is the biggest mistake you can make because they're not moving any fucking needles. I've had conversations in private rooms off camera that have moved the needle more than these clowns will ever.
See, this is like the most nebulous. Like you just got to take my word for it. I've had these private deals with all these like big elite lizard people. And you just got to trust me. I mean, we got these big movers and shakers, but you guys are going to ruin everything. All right. You guys you got to just hold out for a bit longer. You know, the spaceship is coming. I promise the spaceship is on its way, you know, freedom fighting from my 95 meter. Yeah. It's like, dude, you're not on the front lines of freedom fighting nothing, man.
Ever move in their fucking lives.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. And I'm honestly, to prove your point further, I'm a little surprised at some of the things you've said thus far, in terms of how much risk I know it puts you at. In doing this podcast, like I'll transparently admit that I'm like a lot of people don't share the full truth because I do full research, you know, and you're one of the few people who does, at least gives hints, you know. Our last episode, I don't know if you recall this, but I asked you if you knew who was really in power, would you say it? And
who's really in power? Gosh, man.
You kind of paused a bit, but Tristan said it, you know? And that was the first time I'd ever heard anything about this certain thing going on. Yeah. But I do want to ask you, all the hate I'm seeing is people are saying you sold Sneako out. Saying
that threw him under the bus.
Sneako was the person who played the song in the club. And I thought that was a little out of character for you. But with everything you've just said, having been through a lot, it's just kind of like, let me avoid another tragedy.
Yeah, the problem with talking about him is he likes it because he needs it for his stream.
Man, he's really got the villain look going on right here. This is like some Count Dracula looking stuff.
So he's going to take this clip and he's going to sit on his stream to his few viewers. And
just like, you know, something like that.
He's going to make a big deal of it. First things first.
To his few, doesn't he have like a couple thousand people watching him at any given time?
I don't think I sold him out, and I'll tell you why.
Okay, we're going to hear about how come he didn't sell him out. Drink the Kool-Aid. Haley Bop is almost here. Like Andrew Tate would even know who was actually in power. Like he's some... Yeah, I mean, like he thinks he's on there with like Putin and Donald Trump. Like, no, he's not. Like that's nothing... You're not like on that level of like state secrets or whatever, man. I really don't believe. I just think it's a lot of hot air. He isn't on good terms with Sneako. The bombed out warehouse background doesn't help either. Yeah, it's all very, it's very weird.
Firstly, he hasn't been my friend for a very long time. He's not my boy. He's not like Tristan. You know,
Tristan's his brother, but you know,
I hung out with him years ago when he was emulating me, trying to be me.
He definitely wanted to be that, and I remember when that happened.
Really, I made his career by speaking to him. Otherwise, he
got demonetized literally when he went to Romania. And you know, if these people are such good mentor figures, why couldn't they take a guy like Sneako, who obviously wanted to learn from him, and give him that mentorship? You know, what's the point of sitting here and wanting to sell Hustlers University to everybody and we got this guy and then, you know, he pretty much negged Sneako pretty hard, you know what I mean? And then Sneako had to go out like on this other journey and then kind of, you know, I think he kind of got over this and became his own person again, at least to some extent, you know.
Would have stayed a nobody forever. Instead of showing me...
like, stayed a nobody forever. He had 1 million subscribers before he met Andrew Tate. That's like the odd thing. You know what I mean? All that it's missing is for him to be petting a hairless cat. Oh my God. And holding up his pinky after making a point.
Thanks for that. He started, every time I wouldn't reply to his texts, go on stream and cry in some way and complain about me was very bitchy. It was very weird. Like he'd beg to be my friend one side and then do a stream insulting me the next side, back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, because you kind of rebuffed his advances, and so he was frustrated by that. Like, yeah, I'm making excuses for Sneeko, but that's really what it was. He was just like, what the hell, man? Like, why does this guy look cold to me or whatever?
Anything for views.
I can hear Sneeko's not mentorable, in fairness. You're probably
It's
right.
very strange. And I'm not the only person he did it to. And then
he says he will never attack Sneeko, but it sounds like he is attacking Sneeko.
said to Tristan, anyone.
But listen, man, Don, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, like if anybody's going to mentor Sneeko, isn't it going to be this guy, the manliest man in the world, that was the most Googled man in the world and is like the literal mouthpiece of hyper masculinity? If anybody can like mentor some rebellious kid like Sneeko, wouldn't it be this guy? You know what I mean? Who the hell else would do it, you know?
Someone who names themselves.
Doesn't this guy like a challenge? Or does he just want like Aiden Ross sort of like brain rot kids to just sign up for Hustlers University? Like what the hell is it, you know?
Sneeko. Like you're naming yourself Sneaky. Imagine I was saying, hey, my name's Rat. It's just,
I saw a clip with Sneeko reacting to this, and he was just like, well, you did name yourself Cobra Tate, which is a snake.
It's a fucking shit name, and it's weird. So I was like, you know, I'm not going to talk to him anymore. So I didn't talk to him.
I never thought Sneeko was like sneaky. I was kind of like thought of like sneakers or something. I don't know. It seemed, but I don't know, maybe it is some kind of sneaky thing. Sorry, Andrew, the Romanian Jesus narrative is already used.
For 4 long years. I'm going to avoid this guy because he's just weird. And then I get to Miami, I speak to Clav, and Clav is with Nick Fuentes, and he begs for Sneeko to come. And I said, Sneeko's weird. Begs.
See, so he's willing to hang out with Nick Fuentes. That's no problem. Sneeko was the issue.
And begs and begs. Here we are. Who's on the internet insulting me? Sneaky. Sneaky's now on the internet with an opinion. Luckily, he doesn't matter. Sneaky doesn't matter. When this controversy's over, he's going to have to go back to making videos no one watches and trying to find some other controversy. He's not in business. He's not making any money. He's not close to the Trump family. He's not moving politics. He's not in no Hollywood act.
So Trump is, so I think, you know, Andrew's kind of trying to say that like, well, I'm with the movers and shakers in the background. I'm convincing Trump to do certain things. And I'm making all these big political moves happen in the background. Sounds like he's just kind of selling a fantasy about being some powerful guy, which I don't think is true.
Wants him. He isn't connected to the royal family in Dubai. He isn't doing anything. He's not in a position where if he says the wrong thing, the royal family in Dubai will say, sorry, you can't have your political protection and your golden visa. Sorry, we can't give you the Emirati passport anymore. Like he's at such a low level. He doesn't even contemplate the world above him. He doesn't understand why some people can't do what he's doing because he doesn't matter. So I don't think I sold him out. I was told he played the song because Justin and I were playing.
Because he doesn't matter. See, that's how people like this see the rest of us. We're just ants to them. The rest of us don't actually matter. See what I mean?
Country music. And then Justin's phone got taken off him and the song was put on. Everyone said Sneeko put it on. So when I went there, I said, well, I didn't put
So it was Justin's phone.
On the song. Sneeko put it on. I mean, there's no point in trying to hide who put on the song. It's on fucking camera who put on the song. If it wasn't him who put on the song, then I was incorrectly informed. As if I give a fuck anyway. It doesn't.
He is named in Kamala's book, so to some extent he influences politics. I'd say so. You know, at a certain point, I think less so now. When he was coming up and previously, I'd say so. There was some impact there from that, you know, as a phenomena. But what he's talking about is being in the background, talking to these powerful figures like Donald Trump. You know, he's got Donald Trump on the speed dial and he's talking to, you know, all these big movers and shakers in the Middle East. And there's big moves coming down the pipeline in the background. He influenced politics by the viewers, you know, by streaming and doing all this stuff, kind of like the rest of them are doing through sort of like affecting the average man through speech in that way and whatever he was doing and whatever he represented. But, you know, being in the background here and talking to the UAE Emirati stuff, like I can see affecting politics in that way, but I think what he's trying to style himself as now in the background is something that is just a bunch of hot air and talking to these movers and shakers and these elites.
No matter who put on the song, because it wasn't me, right? Why did I not play the song? Truthfully, it didn't cross my mind. I guess I didn't sit there thinking, I need to entertain the public. Let me do something outlandish. It just didn't cross my mind to do something like that. But one of the people played the song, and it wasn't me. I believed, and I was told it was Sneeko. I'm still pretty sure it is Sneeko, unless you're about to say we've checked the footage and it's someone else. I still think it's Sneeko. So I said, Sneeko played the song. Invite Sneeko on here to defend himself. I don't think that's selling him out. He's a full-grown man. He's a big guy. Big tough Sneeko has so much to say about me. Go defend yourself on the podcast. But he doesn't want to defend himself.
I think Piers Morgan is going to have Sneeko on Monday. So we'll see how that goes. Tate is definitely mentioned often in UK politics. They use him as a scapegoat all the time. Yeah, I guess you can influence it in both good and bad ways, huh? Projection works sometimes.
Wants me to defend him for him, and me to risk everything for him, and me to deal with all the political problems from different administrations around the world, and for me to go to a court in England and be facing hate speech charges for 5 years in jail.
See, I don't think they actually thought about, I don't think there was some conspiracy to do that. I think he was just hanging out with a bunch of trolls, and the trolls did what trolls stuff. The trolls did what trolls do, and he got caught up in the trolling. Got to go see a Shah. Hey, take it easy, man. Thanks for being here today. Appreciate that. I should probably end stream soon anyways. But yeah, that's really what happened, man. I mean, he was hanging out with essentially a bunch of trolls, right? Like Myron dancing with the outfit on. That's him trolling. Sneeko, playing the song was just part of trolling. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate that, man. These people, a lot of them are just kind of trolls, and they do that. But I don't think it was this big plan. I think in the moment, they're just like, let's play it and let's just be trolls like we usually are. And this troll happened to be a landmine. We could probably sit here and listen to this forever. So I think I should probably just rein it in and call it. Oh, let's see what we got. You know what? We'll play Shah's Bold. Well, no. Let's see. You know what? Let's play Shah's Bold Endeavor. That's a great way to end off the stream, and then we'll play Better Get My Dowry. Ah, dang it. I can't find the song I want. That's too bad. There it is. Well, we had fun. Now we kind of caught up to see what the alpha males have been up to. So we'll monitor that again, maybe in a year or so. Thanks everybody who hung out. I appreciate that. I'll try to get you guys some more content. My discussion with Effective Purpose is going to be posted here in about a week. So I'll send that to you when it does. And I'll try to get some more stuff posted for you guys. When the stream took off, I was like, man, I don't think anybody's going to be here. But then we had a little bit of numbers. So special shout out to Raymond's folks. If you guys were in here, thank you, Raymond, for moving the folks over to my stream after yours. Appreciate that. Hope everybody's weekend's going well. I'm just glad tomorrow's Sunday. I'm going to get some sleep tonight. Get some gaming in. Man, this cat's so cool. Can't believe I had her for 2 years now. He spoke of tales from times long past when gestures grand made love last. With every coin and jewel so bright, he'd prove his love in the soft moonlight. His dream was simple yet profound. Mr. Pitt, thanks for being in here, man. Luke Nielsen, Dan the Man, Mr. Kevin G, Klaus, of course, Don DeMarco, Tacticus, Reaper Put, you're a legend. Base FCZ. It's always a blessing to have you in here, man. Night Brother, I'm glad I caught you live. I've been missing the shows. Oh man, that means a lot coming from you, man. Believe me, as soon as you post, I watch your stuff within like 30 seconds. So wishing you guys, man, a great rest of your weekend. Thanks, Shot was great. Glad you guys enjoyed it, man. I'll try to get some more organized streams going here. Raymond's been inspiring me, man. He just puts so much content. I wish I could do half the content he does, man. I want to get you guys like some 10-minute, 15-minute videos, just stuff like that. Man, this cat's so cool. Tacticus, great stream. Thank you. What I really want to do is get some gaming in. I hate to admit it, but it's really hard for me to sit down and play video games. Like I really try sometimes, and it's hard to focus on it. Oh, I'm getting attacked. Okay. Great stream. Ow, ow. Okay, now she's actually attacking me. All right, I'll stop. Great stream. Have a good and peaceful evening, everybody. Thank you, Klaus. I appreciate that. Yeah, we'll call it after this one. Have a good day. Everyone else, have a great weekend. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Luke, for that. Appreciate that. Bring back the dowry. I love this song. Let's make it clear, a token of love that's sincere. Building bridges hard. All right. Have a good one, everybody. See you next time.